HSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Time.
A lot of virgins working in one room together. A lot can be accomplished.
Hahn.
I just got excited.
And Rosenberg.
Alan just expressed theoretical arousal about the Dolly Parton puppet.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Oh, yeah! Hello!
Hello.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
Hi, friends.
It is 3:01 on this
You don't know that.
somewhat blustery Monday afternoon. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg are here on a day that will live in the minds and souls of wrestling fans forever as John Cena will enter Madison Square Garden for the last time tonight. It's an emotional day for us, folks. So everyone, just prepare. If I have my moments, feeling a lot of different thoughts.
It's buzzing at the Garden. When I parked here and I went outside, the big WWE truck right outside, the broadcasting trucks all set up.
Oh, you're going to see an intense...
And there's a buzz around. You got all kinds of fans already, early in the day, people getting ready.
No, it's an unusual one. He's down to 3 appearances left. This is his third to last appearance, so it's a big deal. Which is more than we can say about the teams who play football here in New York. But we'll get to that. Don, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Oh,
Sounds like you're having a good time.
Yeah, I'm in a good space today. You know, dressed nice and warm. I got some cranberry sauce at Trader Joe's to start getting me ready for Thanksgiving. Yeah,
seasonal choice. I like it.
Yeah, I was feeling seasonal.
Not a fan.
No,
You're not a cranberry sauce guy.
No.
Really?
What'd you do? What'd you have it with? What'd you pair it with?
Well, this is what makes me
crackers?
interesting. Some crackers, but hold on. I also got from Trader Joe's some oven roasted turkey breast slices.
See, now that's brilliant.
And I had some
where
turkey
do they sell
slices.
That, by the way?
It's in the cold cut area.
Stop it.
When you walk in all the way to the right, they got cold cuts, and I
no idea.
got the turkey, had a little bit of turkey, a little bit of cran. I was a little disappointed because I thought I had a couple of dips here, but I either brought them home Friday or someone threw them in the garden.
Or they were pilfered.
No, those couple of dips are at home, or one is at home, one's at MSG.
Oh, those are yours.
A couple of dips that you usually have.
Yeah.
There.
The hummus and the guac, all yours.
As opposed to the dips on in the morning.
Oh no!
Excuse me.
Oh,
we're throwing. What happened? It's Monday already.
Yeah, did anything happen?
No, nothing happened. I was just trying to be selective. I didn't want to go after the part-timers. They're too sensitive.
Oh no!
So I figured I would. Yeah, well, why not? I obviously didn't mean it. It was just having some fun. It's just low-hanging fruit on a Monday. Why not have some fun?
Why not?
Oh, no.
Why not? I'm sure
Why
they'll
not?
counter
You know what?
tomorrow
And again,
with
if the
tears in their eyes.
If the part-timers are mad at you because you are holding them accountable for grinding early in your career so that you can grow, that's a lesson.
That's what
There's
I
nothing
took.
like. What do you?
That's what I meant it as.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
you
was
get
there-
upset about that? That's a you problem.
Was there blowback from what you said last
oh
week?
My God, was there blowback?
Is that was there really?
Well, Jake went on the air to say he'd be home, but after what I said, he felt obligated to go in. A little snarky, but you know what? That just showed that my message was delivered. It was effective, absolutely. I'm just saying I'm cut from the cloth of, you know what, you got to pay your dues a little bit.
That's right.
A little bit, and then when you're sitting pretty, and sometimes it takes a long time, sometimes you never get there. But you got to pay your dues a little bit.
Yeah, but
the
reason
three of us have done that.
But the reason it rings, it's perfect for someone like Jake, is like Jake is going to get there, but he's still a young man, and even though he's ascended very quickly and he works very hard, there are still dues to be paid, my friend.
That's all.
You delivered a message. I respect it.
General soreness.
Yeah.
There's no expiration date on the dues. Sometimes you pay it, and it pays 0 dividends. You wasted your time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like guys like Wischusen and Eagle come right out of the womb with a play-by-play schedule and a headset. They're ready to go. All right? And they had to pay very little dues, if any. Although Ian was a board op at the Fan, and Wischusen intern to the Fan. So dues was paid, don't get me wrong.
But different dues.
But it's blind dues. It's hope. It's kind of like New York football.
Oh, boy.
Right?
See, I see what you did.
Man.
It's hope that you don't know if it's going to pay any dividends at the end, but you just do it because that's what you got to do.
Look at you.
How
Look
about
at
that?
That's a
Like
pro.
that?
You know what that was?
Look at him.
Get to stepping.
So with that, a lot of different feelings about the New York football that we watch, and we're going to dive into also the NFL in general, which is frankly right now, we were discussing it all weekend, the most up for grab the NFL has maybe ever been.
I don't want to give. Maybe I shouldn't say it.
Go ahead.
Maybe I should say
I think
it
you
for when we
should.
do it.
I think
Most
you
of the time when you say that, it's a good thing that anybody could win. I don't know if this is a good thing.
I agree.
I don't think it's coming from a good place.
See,
I think it's sloppy. I think it's ugly. I think it's poorly coached. I think in the NFL is a really bad spot, but nobody will ever say it because everybody is so in love with football, myself included, that nobody ever wants to pick at the scabs. They'll do that with baseball. They'll do it with hockey. They'll do it with basketball. But football is always ascending. It's always fantastic. It's always perfect. I don't think so.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think this is one of the rare times we've had in the last 25 years because in the last 25 years there's always been the it team, right? There's always been that evil empire or one team or whatever, or a couple of teams that you just felt like you got to get past them. Oh, you got to get past them. You got to be able to beat Brady. You got to be able to beat Roethlisberger. You got to be able to beat Rodgers. You got to be able to beat Mahomes. You got to beat Breeze. Like there's always somebody. You got to beat them.
Well,
and this year that doesn't exist. In fact, every team, even the good ones, when you argue them, every one of them, including the Eagles, have flaws. All of them have flaws that can be exploited in a winner-take-all game that we'll get to in January. And that's why parity's nice. It's fun to talk about. But what you're saying, Don, it's not great when the level of play isn't raised because everybody's good. I think everybody's mediocre. Is that parity? Is that what we want?
Well, I don't want to ruin this whole thing because I do think you're mostly right, but that team that you have to beat they're still going to be there. And I know if the playoffs started today, the Chiefs are outside looking in.
Well,
I'd bet a lot of coin, a lot of scratch that they will be safely in the playoffs when we get there.
But
that's fine.
But there's a team in their division right now.
That's right.
That Mahomes can't beat in Denver. And you're 3.5 games back, and Mahomes said all the right things after the game. It's just about getting into the playoffs. We saw them win 2 road games in the postseason. What was it, last year or the year before? It had to be the year before, and they still got to the Super Bowl and won it. But now this Denver team, I'm not in love with them either, guys, but they don't have any problem with Mahomes in their own building, and that's where it looks like Kansas City's going to have to go if they're going to make some sort of a run. So things might be a little bit different, but I'm with you. There's still 7 weeks left, 6 games for some of these teams to still play that we can all kind of work itself out. Yeah, but right now, Kansas City wouldn't be in the playoffs. Detroit wouldn't be in the playoffs. Like, these are the teams that we're circling as Super Bowl contenders, and we're in the middle of November, and they're not in the playoffs yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of odd, but at the same time, there's still time. But so we'll get to all of that later.
Yeah, I want to. When we get to it, I want to make this like a Monday. Make your case Monday. Make your case of the team that you think is the one that has the fewest flaws and the ability to win the whole thing. I don't think it's easy to put your money on. I think we'll get a number of teams that people will put their money on. I don't think there'll be a unanimous team like we've seen in the past.
I agree with that. I think there's one smartest answer, but yeah, I think you're right. We'll get different ones. Well, we had very different reactions on the group text to the Giants game, and it's unfortunate in days like today that Anthony's not one of the hosts because he's just so disgusted by this team that no matter what he sees or even hears about, because sees would mean he's watching the game, and he's not. In fact, he just walked out of the studio. I've never seen this before. The subject came up, the door opened, he is gone. But, Anthony was sickened by everything, and he's just had enough. And I understand that standpoint for Giants fans. But, guys, for me, objectively, I sit there watching and go, I saw some things yesterday. I'm not saying I'm running to the mailbox to get my contract out to Kafka, but, Don, I did see some things that were better about this team. And I'll tell you one thing that I felt great about. I felt very vindicated by every week when I've sat here with you guys and gone, what about Jameis Winston? Well, where's Jameis Winston? Yeah, he's much better than Russell Wilson.
There's a couple of things at play here. Number one is, did they do the right thing by letting Daboll go? And the answer was yes.
Definitively
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way it looked, the way it felt, and the fact is, where was Jameis Winston? Now, let's not make him out to be Tom Brady. he only threw for like 200 yards, and he did throw a pick at the end of the game, although I don't think that was his fault. It looked like a bad route.
But it's also not his choice. Jameis Winston has to throw an interception at the end of games.
Well,
that's how he plays.
Right, because he and God, there's a lot of dialogue between him and God, and there's just like there has to be more conversation. There's like a better help that he has because he's an NFL player where you can have conversations with God and work.
You know
on
what?
Your
And Don, since you brought it up, I just want to say something about BetterHelp. An ad by BetterHelp. This November, BetterHelp's encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. All right? Personally, I know I've gone through hard times, and it's meant a lot to have those people that just check in and day out. And certainly, it means a lot to check in with my therapist. Now, BetterHelp therapists, they work with a strict code of conduct. They're fully licensed in the U.S. Also, they have so many, over 30,000 therapists are in their network. All right? They match you up with a therapist, and they typically get it right. But if you're not happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. All right? BetterHelp's one of the world's largest online therapy platforms, having served over 5 million people globally. All right? Plus, a rating of 4.9 out of 5 for live sessions based on over 1.7 million client reviews is an incredible number. So this month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250. Don, were you actively in the chat? I know me, Anthony, and I think Alan were when in the fourth quarter the Giants got the ball back and I said Giants drive, Winston interception to end the game.
Yes, I saw that.
I mean, it was literally like you could have. It was so obvious, which stunk because I was rooting for. Obviously, I wanted to see the Giants get a win yesterday, and I
did.
You did or did not?
No, I did. I wanted them to win the game because I want them to move forward from what happened. And let's face it, the Giants are rooting for the same thing. They want to believe that Daboll was the problem, and that they eradicated the problem, and now everything's going to be good. Now we all know that Shane Bowen's going to be out of a job at the end of the year. We know that. But as far as the whole Shane Daboll and do they have enough talent? Listen, they don't have enough talent to win a Super Bowl, but they certainly have more talent than should be 2-9. And it just looked different. It looked better. The same issues with the secondary and the same issues with the defense, which, again, will be solved at the end of the year. But I thought it looked better. And Alan may disagree, and I thought Winston played great for a guy that hasn't played in over a year. I think that if Jackson Dart plays in that game, they beat the Packers. And if they beat the Packers, the common denominator all day, the conversation is going to be how Kafka got them up and how much better they are with Kafka as the head coach. And I still think that's the theme because I do think they're better off letting Daboll go. Now the question is, is Kafka the answer? But we would have felt a lot different about it had they won that game, and I think they would have a much better chance to win. Not that Winston played poorly, but, Dart is a talent that can make things happen for this offense, and I think they would have scored more than 20 points had he been the quarterback. But that said, I still think it looked a lot better, and I was disappointed they lost the game. I was completely engaged in them trying to get a W.
And I tell you what, I again, without caring about the result at this point, because does it really matter? I think if you're Kafka, you're trying to prove you can coach and that the job should be yours, and the continuity thing that everybody with the organization is kind of rooting for, mainly because that means some of them will keep their jobs. But that's the reason why you're looking for wins. But I'm just looking at everything else. I always look for the bump that I talked to you guys about. And did we see a bump? Changing a coach? Did you get a different vibe out of the team? Was there a better feel about the team? And we're learning a couple of things. The first thing we learned is what you guys mentioned, what you mentioned, Don, is that Jameis Winston was left on the bench under Brian Daboll. And we see a guy that clearly still had the ability to play when Russ, as a backup, even when he had to go in at times for Dart, just was making business decisions to make sure he didn't get hit, was doing things that were detrimental to the offense and making them look bad. Never mind the games that he started, 2 of them that he was just awful in. And maybe it could have pushed back a little bit on how fast you had to get to Dart and get him into the season. Not that, again, the kid showed himself and he did really well. But that's one thing that does make you now look at Daboll and ask yourself, what was he thinking and why would he do that? The other one is the stuff about Abdul Carter.
Right.
And the fact that he didn't play in the first series because he slept through a walkthrough. He claims he was getting treatment, but if that's what the coaching staff's doing, which Daboll apparently as the reports go, this isn't a first time. This has become a trend for this rookie. That blows my mind because that tells me, number one, they always say you're the coaching it or allowing it to happen. So Brian Daboll was aware of it and did nothing about it. Number two, the leaders on the team, guys like Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, guys are supposed to be leaders on that defense, veterans. Kind of looked away, did nothing about it, didn't do anything. That also tells me that they kind of shrugged it off like, well, what does it matter? If the coach ain't doing anything, what am I going to do? And that tells you that this was a toxic culture that desperately needs a strong leader at the very top to get it back under control. Because if you're a rookie and you think you can get away with this and that it just happens routinely, and the fact that he runs to social media to defend himself, I don't like the look of that.
No, it's bad.
So I'm looking at that, and if I'm John Mara, if I'm Tish, if I'm anyone in ownership, above everybody else, I'm looking down at all this stuff going on, and I'm wondering, wait, okay, so Winston still can play. We got this other thing going on with a young player on the team who thinks he can get away with it. We had a major problem, and the one thing we can say definitively is that making the coaching change was obviously the right move to make. When they did it, might have been the right move to make as well, just to get things back on track before you get to the offseason.
Now, the reason that this all happens is the mistake that John Mara made not making one of two decisions at the end of last year. And that is either extending Shane and Daboll or firing them.
Okay.
You can't be half pregnant because now what happens, he goes into the season and every decision he's going to make is based on I've got to win games to save my job. So is he going to bench Abdul Carter and maybe hurt the defense, make Shane look bad that his third overall pick is being benched or suspended or fined, and now it hurts the defense to get stops to win games so I can save my ass? Like that, so you're making business decisions. You talk about Russell Wilson making business decisions. Daboll had to make business decisions all year because it was all about I got to win as many games as possible. Now you got Kafka coming in here. He wants to impress, but at the same time he also wants to lay the groundwork. So is it odd that was it just we fell asleep at the facility and missed the walkthrough, or is Kafka like, listen, now I can finally do something about this guy?
Yep.
Because Daboll wasn't able to do anything about it because he was fighting for his job. Now, he could have went a step further and not played him, but at the same time, he still has to be as effective as possible. And he doesn't want to kill Shane Bowen losing a player on his defense to try to help him save his job. So he probably cut the difference and said, all right, I'll just suspend them for the first drive. But then it gets out, and now it's the blank show that it always ends up being. He goes to social media. He said, and people liars and all that garbage. But at least something was done. But you understood the motivation, guys, why Daboll didn't do it. It's because he felt like I got to win games.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Listen, we all love we all love the past and Tom Coughlin. Tom Coughlin did the same thing with Plexico Burress in a game against the Seattle Seahawks.
He did it with Odell, too.
He missed the practice. He missed the first series of the game. Why?
Right.
Because Tom didn't want to lose the game.
Wasn't that Odell, too, his last year?
Yeah.
You could never discipline him?
And what was in common there? Tom's
playing for the job.
Job was on. Why do you think Odell Beckham Jr. got away with all the things he got away with? Because Coughlin was up against it. And what ended up happening anyway? Coughlin still lost his job. That's why coaches have to coach, damn it. All right? Because at the end of the day, it's all going to come out in the wash anyway. Mm-hmm. So just be yourself because you try to save your job. And in all walks of life, the guy that tries to save his job is always the first guy that goes because he's already made compromises to his integrity and the way he does the job by trying to keep it in the first place. Just do your job. That's why I thought it looked different yesterday.
Does it not scream also, though, that whatever the Giants end up doing when it comes to that position, whoever it is has got to be a strong personality. You got to have a strong personality. You know what I was looking at? I was looking at one of my terrible L's over the weekend.
How many L's did you have?
I had two, but I did.
You mean in the picks?
It's not you, Peter.
Oh.
It's almost like Peter. You talk about tanking.
Oh yeah,
There would be an investigation right now
Yeah.
if there was a prize for finishing last in our picks.
Oh no. He yeah.
It
The
looks
league
like
would-
it feels like I'm tanking.
Yeah, the league would probably make a lottery so he couldn't get the number one pick.
right, yeah.
But one of them was Jacksonville and Rams, and I saw the way Jacksonville finished their game, and it was a bad loss to Davis Mills and the Texans, and their defense, the secondary got shredded, and it's like maybe they're getting exposed because they were a good defense, and I thought, again, you can trust the Chargers, and on the road. And I'm mad at myself because I was paying attention to it. And Liam Cohen, new coach, first year head coach, he had a lot of fire and brimstone all week about his team. They were playing home. They were coming off a loss where they felt away, and he was absolutely riding that narrative the whole week with his team. And I mean, did they not open up a can on Jim Harbaugh and company?
They sure did.
Absolutely. And that's, to me, that you need that kind of a leader where the team responds when he's saying stuff and doing stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff you're looking for, is a team that responds to its coach. And I saw that in first-year head coach. The Giants have got to find somebody that they know players will respond to and respect.
Yeah, they have to. They absolutely have to. And this is why, I roll my eyes when we talk about tanking and it's better off to lose. I'm really surprised Michael had that opinion about the Jets because it's just erodes and you become a loser. And that's what the Giants are right now. They're losers. They don't know how to win anymore. They don't have to get off the mat, right? So they wait for bad things to happen, and it just becomes a habit of losing games all the time because that's all they know. And now the discipline area becomes a problem. And now you start pointing fingers at other people. And you don't see that the disease that losing is for an organization, all for the better pick, but what kind of residue does that leave? And the new pick, the new shiny toy you get from all that losing now has to enter this cancerous body of an organization that's eroded by all of the losing and the lack of caring and the business decisions that you end up making. Why do you think, guys, that all the teams with losing records are the ones with the most injuries? Because guys aren't fighting through it now. We're 2-9. My back spot. Let's just put me on injury.
I don't
want
to have
play.
to get surgery in the offseason if I don't have to.
Let's get the surgery now.
Yep.
Let's get it over with. We stink.
Absolutely.
That's why all these injuries pile up. In the last second, he's going to be a game-time decision. Oh, look, he's not playing. Mm-hmm. If they were 9-2, he'd drag his broken leg onto the field to play now. And again, I'm not being critical of it because sometimes that is the right decision for your career. But you're forced to make that right decision because what are you playing for? You're going to lose anyway. You're going to find a way to lose. And the only way to cure it, guys, is to win. And then make that the habit.
And again, it's so frustrating because with this Giants team, there are a few times in which they could have won, and then maybe everyone's approach is different. You get a completely different look
That's the
at the
part.
team. But they were right there in, 3 games,
Dude,
4 games?
That's, again, I can't get over that. Again, I know John Mara is in a battle right now, and we're all thinking of him, but I just know that I'm looking at it, if I'm an owner, I can't get over that. I can't get over that we had at least 3 winnable games. You could say 4 because, again, the Saints aren't trying to win. They're terrible, and you still lost that game. But you had 3 games that every analytic, every probability told you that you should have won those games, and you didn't win them. And it turned your season into one of hope and anticipation and the ability to try to make the playoffs or at least just show some growth. And instead, look where it has you right now. It has you in a place that you've been in all too often in the last 12 years. And you're on the hamster wheel, and now I got to find a new coach. All because 3 games we should have won, we didn't.
So maddening if you're a Giants fan. And also on the other side, I do want to talk about this. Try to get into the logic of you were doing everything you could to get wins because you were playing for your job, and you still thought Russell Wilson was a better choice than Jameis Winston.
Amazing.
We need to discuss that. It needs to be studied. 1-800-919-3776. What were your takeaways from that game yesterday if you're a Giants fan? And also, at some point coming up, we'll talk to people making the case for who is the actual cream of the crop in the NFL because it is so wide open. It's a Football Monday. It's Hahn Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, get 1.9% financing on a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 Hybrid Preferred or lease for $279 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. Then SN128251. MSRP $36,570. Zero security deposit. APR $17.48 per 1,000 financed. Ends 12/1/25.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT this Monday night. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
Whether you're shopping, gaming, or streaming this Black Friday season, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber for the fastest, most reliable, and most consistent internet speeds, starting at $25 a month. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch. Act now and get a full year of Netflix, an unlimited mobile line, a $400 prepaid card, and more, all on us. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. A pretty bad ride over in Queens. First on the Cross Island northbound by Union Turnpike. A tractor trailer snuck on the roadway and struck the overpass. 2 lanes are out. You're jammed there from the UBS Arena. Not much better on the Whitestone Expressway northbound. A crash right after Northern Boulevard. Delays go back onto the northbound Van Wyck. You're solid from the LIE. Heaviest ride to the outbound George Cross Bronx westbound. Packed from the Bronx River Parkway through to underneath the apartments. Inbound George. Still have some road work on the upper deck, just about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Outbound Lincoln and Holland Tunnels are only about 5 to 10 minutes each. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
Serve Pro. Like it never even happened.
Harry Douglas here. Look, being a man doesn't mean skipping self-care. Manscaped makes it easy to feel confident, clean, and ready for anything. Whether you're at work, hitting the gym, traveling for business, or heading for a night out. The Lawnmower Trimmer gives you precision, the Beard Hedger keeps your look tight, and their grooming essentials smell incredible. Manscaped's tools are built to perform, helping you stay sharp, smooth, and feeling your best every single day. Because real confidence starts with a clean cut and the right gear. Get all the Manscaped products you need right now at your local Target.
Hey, guys, it's only been one segment of the show, and you know what I've yet to tell you about?
What's that?
The favorite thing for me to talk about. Bath fitter.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this is the time of year where you have people over, and they're going to use a guest room. They're going to need to take a shower in your house. You're embarrassed. If you're embarrassed of the guest room shower or a shower that everybody uses when they come over and stay over for the holidays, this is right now why you need to pay close attention to me. Because I was able to remodel a bath in my house. In fact, they ripped out the bath, and they put in a full, beautiful shower. So now, holiday season, when everybody comes over, I know that they're going to use not only a shower that is brand new and beautiful, but also one that is functioning a lot better than the old one. That's for sure. My sister liked it so much, she had her bathroom done as well by Bath Fitter. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It takes one day, everybody. That's it. That's why you can do it right now, right before the holidays. It's durable, easy to clean, no demolition, lower cost than a replacement. And how about this? Lifetime guarantee. So you get no money down, no payments, no interest for 18 months. No interest until April of 2027. That's one part of it. But right now, if you act, you can save up to $800 on a complete bath fitter system. That's why I'm telling you, now's the time to do it. Go see their website or call for details on this Black Friday savings I just told you about. You can trust the Bath Fitter team just like we did, so start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Well, before we got into Alan's big bath talk, I was thrilled that not only did Jacob, who does his job so well and always knows the theme, come back with John Cena, a John Cena song, but he came out with Bad Man too. You didn't even come out with Time Is Now. You came out with the B-side. Earlier on the subway, I was looking at how much the record is for that. I think I have it, but the problem is over the last 20 years, like my record collection, Don, for the first 15, 10 years of my record collecting life, it was with me and organized. And then as I moved out of dorm rooms and now it's like everywhere, and it's kind of become a long-term forever project. So I don't know where certain things are. The John Cena single goes for like $100. It's a very rare piece of vinyl.
Very popular.
Wait, Anthony, you just said all of you guys have the CD?
Anybody in this studio, I believe, has the CD.
You bought the CD?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are part of the platinum.
Two of us.
You're part of the platinum status of John Cena.
We feel proud about it, to be honest.
You guys should have asked to be in the suite tonight for John Cena. What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah, you guys should be there.
Have you met me?
Yeah, by the way, Alan, Anthony doesn't believe that he deserves to set foot in the suite.
Yeah, well, it's because he was probably told that once or twice. Those are the kinds of things that stay with you.
Especially with Anthony.
When you're given that look when it's like, hey, Peter, hey, Don, and then you get what are you doing here look? Yeah.
Anthony already thinks people are thinking that even when they're not.
Well, that's ridiculous. He produces the best show on radio.
Yeah, damn right he
dare
does.
sit down.
And our show, too.
You suck, Busick.
You're allowed one wing, napkin.
Hey, look, Greca, open your mouth.
By the way,
one wing,
you got to go to the 8th floor to use the toilet.
Yeah.
Zip it, and I'll tell you.
No napkin. Hey, while we're doing this, can we shout out Stevie B?
Sure, please.
You see, Big Steve's going for second round. He's got a cervical nerve block procedure on his neck. It's like a 4-round procedure. He's in round 2 today.
Okay.
So he's in the hospital. He's getting his procedure done. He listens every day.
Stevie.
He tweets us like crazy.
All right, man.
So we just want to wish him the best.
Oh, absolutely. Sending him all the love, man. Good luck with it, dude. I'm sure you'll be fine. We look forward to getting to the other side of it. Now, just while we mentioned the Garden, I do have to tell you guys one thing. Did you guys hear anything about the melee at the Garden
Brawl
on Saturday?
Yes.
So, can I tell you about it for a second?
I want to hear everything you know about it because it was insane.
Don, did you hear about it?
I did not hear about it. Alan had told me he wanted to talk UFC. I instantly, because
you
I
glazed
want
over.
Alan to be happy. No, I said, of course. And I'm thinking,
about the fight.
Why are we doing that? But if Alan's passionate about it,
sure.
This wasn't in the octagon. This was in the I don't know where.
Well, it was the cage side seats. It was the floor. No, it was the floor.
It was on the floor, but it was off to the side. There were cops involved in this.
No, listen,
crazy.
I'm in the suite enjoying. By the way, they changed the wings. They're no longer Korean barbecue. They're an updated wing now. It's a spicy
they changed
honey
the wings again.
Yeah, it's a spicy honey glazed barbecue. I like them. I like them better than the Korean ones, honestly. But So I'm sitting there talking to a couple people sort of towards the back of the suite. And one of the people I'm talking to, like, beelines to the front of the suite and to start staring over. And I'm like, we're between matches. And then I look over. And then I see everybody standing there. And I go, what the hell? Including my wife. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I run over there. Guys, I look down to the floor. And you know when you see a brawl, you just see moving. Like just a crowd moving. I have never at an event seen it continue on for that long. I could not believe they couldn't get it under control. And by the way,
what was your level of like fear? Like, because you get that, right? You get that sense when you see a fight like that.
No, it's such a great question, Alan, because I legitimately find those things to be terrifying.
Of course,
I have actual nightmares about that. About like you're in a big room and it starts losing control, and you're like, oh my God, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Now, fear wasn't high because we were up in the suite, but I was just like, oh, this is bad. Now, it became clear after a little bit that it was kind of specific and contained. It wasn't just everyone in the crowd. The problem for the cops who busted their asses and did their best was that they were dealing, guys, with members of these fight teams. These are not regular dudes.
Yeah.
These are dudes who are training with fighters, and they're going at each other. So Dana White did the right thing today. The guy, Dylan Dennis, whose team got into it with the champs team, Dennis has been banned from ever attending anything UFC ever again. Wow. So Dana White did the right thing. But I will tell you guys, for a moment, as someone who, not as much as either of you two, but has been to the Garden at this point, I don't know, over 100 times, I've never seen anything like that, ever. It was an iffy moment.
Now, Peter, for those who might not know, who is Dylan Dennis? Like, what's his relationship with UFC? Why would he be there? Why would he have that kind of location?
He's a fighter. He's a famous boxer and like fighter and social media guy and trash talker. He's listed officially as a mixed martial artist. But he was probably there because he wanted something like that to happen.
Didn't he also used to didn't he train with Conor McGregor?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I forget. I remember him from fighting Logan Paul.
Okay.
He was really nasty in the lead up to the fight with Logan Paul. But Dylan Dennis is a real fighter. So yeah, that sounds logical, Alan. But like he's a real fighter. His team is a bunch of goons also. And then so it's just I don't know enough about what the storyline is between them for what happened. My guess is there's no real sense to be made of it. But man, it was a scary scene momentarily, dude. It was. I'll tell you one thing. Looking forward to going back to good old safe, family friendly WWE tonight. Gonna be a time at the Garden. All right, we're talking to you guys. 1-800-919-3776. Your thoughts on the Giants, and of course, just who the teams are to beat in the NFL right now. Because we wake up today and we look after you see Kansas City loses to Denver. They're out of the playoff picture right now, guys. There really is no one that you can say is the absolute cream of the crop in the NFL. And at some point, Alan, you want all of us to make our case for one team?
Yeah, like I'll give you, obviously, the two teams with the best record. Like, this is what you have right now, by the way, in the top 5 in the league. The Broncos and the Patriots are 9-2. The Colts and the Rams and the Eagles are 8-2. So there's your top 5. I didn't mention Bills. I didn't mention Packers, who everybody was, coronating at the start of the season. I didn't mention Lions. I didn't mention Chiefs. Bucks at one point earlier this season. Remember when everybody thought Tampa really had it going on with Baker? Like, I'm naming you, like, these are names, these are teams right now where the Eagles are the defending champs and the Rams have recently won a Super Bowl and have been, they've been good every year. But Broncos, Patriots, and Colts, I don't know if anybody had that on the bingo card as top 5 teams in the league before the season started.
Well,
how much are you buying them?
Well, at least the Broncos made the playoffs last year. The Patriots, I think everybody thought would take a step up, but to this level, crazy.
Yeah, they won 5 in a row.
Crazy. But it also tells you another thing, too, that, football is no different than any other sport, that there are dead times in the regular season. Obviously not for the Jets and Giants. They buried themselves already.
Yeah.
But our producer, Roland Dratch, with the Devils, a huge Dolphin fan. And we were on the bus going wherever we were, coming back from Washington, going to the airport. And he's like, Dolphins are making the playoffs. And I kind of laughed about it. And then I thought about it. Well, listen, they beat Washington. I think they've got, like, the Jets coming up. They've got, like, a game against the Raiders. Like, they can win 3-4 in a row here and find their way into the playoffs. A team that just fired their general manager.
Yeah.
Still have time, can still take advantage of a weak schedule to get their way in there. And with that third wild card, it's always kind of a middling team that makes it anyway. And
you can't say there's a world in which they can't catch the Jaguars.
So
it is possible.
Unless you're god-awful, like the Jets and the Giants.
The New York teams.
And the
Commanders, I'm there.
And the Commanders now because they lost their starting quarterback.
And Saints.
They're done.
Yeah.
But everybody else, like, so you say, September into October, what does it all mean? And then you're going to go, they're going to eventually add an 18th game. So the NFL, so sacrosanct in their regular season, how every game matters. But to 75% of the league, does the first month matter? That games can be thrown away, you can still get up off the mat. That Kansas City be 3.5 games out in the division with Denver, and you're still not ruling them out to possibly still win that division for a 10th consecutive time, tells you that there are still, even in the NFL, meaningless times during the course of the regular season for some teams.
I'm going to give you each 6 teams, 3 on the AFC side, 3 on the NFC side. And they're all out looking in right now on the bubble. And you tell me, out of these teams, if you could only put all your money on one of them, which one is it?
Okay.
The Texans, the Chiefs, and the Ravens on the AFC side. The Lions, the Panthers, and the Vikings on the NFC side.
If I had to be all in on one team.
All in. You had all your money. So it's them. Who you
how
take?
How do you not say the Chiefs?
Chiefs?
How do you not say it? Like,
Now,
do I think they're the same team?
They played Denver on Christmas Day, man. How big is that game?
At least the game will be in Kansas City, so it gives them a decent. But Michael and Peter had fun with me all last year, and I said Kansas City could be had. I was right, not in the sense that Philadelphia eventually beat them. They could be had. There just wasn't any teams good enough to do it, and so I think the Chiefs were not as good as they've been. But the only team that was better than them finally beat them in Philadelphia.
Right.
Now but they were still trending down, so they're continuing to trend down. But of all the teams, Texans, a mess, right? Ravens, they barely beat Cleveland yesterday. I mean, I watched a lot of that game, and I thought the Ravens, I've been high on the Ravens,
Yep.
and I still think they're going to win that division. But they needed a couple of breaks, and Henry finally carried them to victory. I know his game was in Cleveland. The Browns' defense is good, but still, Sanders was in the game and all that. So I don't know about the Ravens. Vikings seem to be a bit of a mess. Lions.
Well, J.J. McCarthy's he's not having a great arrival performance as a quarterback there, where they thought he was the next one. They let Sam go, and they might regret it.
They might regret it because he just doesn't look like he's ready. So,
Yeah.
all right, if Texans, I would probably say Chiefs in the AFC, and I guess the Lions in the NFC.
That's a good call. All right, so Peter, because I have probabilities, percentages that I know you guys can't stand, but I'm going to use them anyway. Peter, if you got one of the 6, you can't take the Chiefs now. Who you take?
All right, starting with the AFC.
Yep. Texans, Chiefs, Ravens, Texas Ravens, Lions, Panthers, Vikings.
Wait, these are all teams that are not in, you're saying?
Yeah, they're on the bubble. One of them's going to get in.
Okay, well, if the Chiefs are taken, you take Ravens, right?
You're going Ravens.
Yes.
Okay, over Lions.
Yes.
The Lions are right there too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, totally. The Lions are right there. And by the
I
way,
don't want to talk you out of it. I'm just saying, so no NFC team really gives you that kind of confidence, but the Ravens do because, again, a Rodgers injury in Pittsburgh is going to mean a lot, and the Ravens just always figure it out once they get healthy. So,
although I don't love the problem is I don't love the Ravens once they get to the playoffs.
No, well, who cares? It's getting there. Is all that matters
so
right
get
now.
it from a getting there standpoint.
Yeah,
I would
they're
go
outside
Ravens.
looking in right now, and
they're already close. They're at 5-5.
Yes,
they're already hanging out. I mean, right now the Jaguars are at 6-4 in the 7.
Yeah, they're a game back.
So they're right there.
Okay.
So give me the Ravens.
Okay, you got the Ravens. So the Ravens, out of all the 6 teams I gave you, have the highest probability of making the playoffs, 77%.
That's right.
Probably because of the division, of course. The Lions are at number 2 at 75%. The Chiefs, Donnie, 51%.
Wow.
But these stats, the problem is these stats don't religion's not involved. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's all based off of
spirituality's not involved.
Strength of remaining schedule.
Yeah, but the Chiefs aren't about that. The Chiefs are with God.
Yeah, they're with God. and Taylor.
That's
God
right.
And Taylor, which
Both
is really
powerful.
one and the same. But yeah, I found that to be amazing. Like the Lions, and out of all those teams, the most surprising to me is the Lions. Would you say?
Yes.
I'm really surprised that they are as mediocre as they've been this season.
Although
that game against the Eagles, that's a bad offense against an aggressive defense. That was Jared Goff had nothing to do with that game.
I don't want to beat them up too much for an ugly game with terrible wind. Like it was against a great football team. That doesn't, them losing in Philadelphia.
They run the ball though, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs should give you the option.
That's what I mean.
But I'm just not willing to throw them away because of a tough loss against the world champs, against the team who I think, when you have the conversation of who's the cream of the crop, to me it's Philadelphia. Philadelphia, to me, is the cream of the NFL.
But they're coming off a loss to Minnesota, who we just said they don't look right. Something's wrong with the Vikings, and yet they still beat the Lions. Listen, the Lions haven't accomplished anything. They're good because they've been good in the regular season, but do they have the pedigree that the Chiefs have? Because that's what it's going to come down to, right? Is that we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of this thing, all right? And even though that game is in Denver on Christmas Day, do the Broncos have the stomach to beat the Chiefs when it matters? Just like the Bills.
The Cajones, if you will.
Because the Bills beat the Chiefs 4 or 5 of the last 6 times they played them in the regular season.
That's right.
In the postseason, they can't do it. Because these teams know, the Eagles know, the Chiefs know that when the rubber hits the road, they're going to be ready.
1-800-919-3776. Make your case for who is the actual cream of the crop in the NFL. We're also talking Giants as well. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
Listen up, football fans. At Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
There are small risks in life, like giving a kid a football to play with in the house.
Whoa, watch out for the... Okay.
And then there are big gambles, like giving a kid a lottery ticket. Never gift a lottery ticket to a person under 18. Learn more about how to gift responsibly during the holidays at playresponsiblyny.com. Please gift responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Talk about stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager. Hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Michelle's Moment here for Gainbridge and their Give Back program, Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity's goal is to empower girls and women through sports and education, providing 32 organizations in 21 states $222 of grant funding during 2025. These grants aim to level the playing field and expand access to sports and education for girls and women across the country. Here's to a future with no limits for women's sports with Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
And it's better than ever. 2 racers, one amazing holiday gift. The 2025 stock car racers are loaded with action-packed features, including 67 animated lights. My hands are going up and down when I said 67. 5 realistic sounds and a pullback motor available exclusively at HessToyTruck.com for $49.99 with free standard shipping and batteries included.
I love what you've done.
See, Bashel, the head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks, was talking about like his depth at defense. He's like, yeah, you like to have 6 or 7, and then
can't do it.
Then he laughed and his hands were going up and down. Mm-hmm. Like it's everywhere.
Well, no, now because it took long enough, and now the kids have lost it.
Yeah,
and now every old boomer loser like us, we all know it too.
Well, how do you ruin something that's annoying but kids love it?
Have the adults start
using it, and the kids will hate it. So it's
a great point.
We did our job. Salute everyone.
Yeah, it's a great point. You know what? It's a great call by you. Thank you to all the old people who ruined this entire thing.
Fastest way to kill a trend that's annoying.
Most creative one I've seen so far of and I'm using older loosely because this guy's in his late 20s. But the other day, Carmelo Hayes, this wrestler, he was doing the bit where like you go up where a wrestler's holding another wrestler and they have him up against the ropes and then they against the turnbuckles and they keep punching them and the crowd counts along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and when it gets to 6, he just looks up at the crowd and does the thing with his hands. That I thought that was. It was a dad joke, but I enjoyed it. But guess what? I'm a dad. 1-800-919-3776. Let's start off with Vinny in Staten Island. Hey, Vinny.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, bud?
All right. I love the way Mike Kafka looked on the sideline yesterday. He looked like he really knew how to. He just really looked like he knew how to coach. And Joe Shane. Why did you bring Russell Wilson in when you had Jameis Winston? I mean, everybody knew Jameis Winston could play. He throws a lot of interceptions, but he will keep you in the game. The guy can throw the football. You're realizing now what a shit show. I'm sorry.
You got to be able to control yourself. Listen, I think there was 2 things at play with Russell Wilson. One, trying to catch lightning in a bottle, thinking that maybe the whole Denver thing, he was humbled. This guy's a borderline Hall of Famer. But the other thing and Alan kind of brought this up. I think it was on a different subject, Alan.
What's that?
That sometimes, as wacky as it is, you do favors for people. And I wonder if there was some sort of connection somewhere, agent, somebody in the organization cross paths with somebody with Wilson who said, do me a favor, give this guy a chance. And I still also believe that once Wilson came here, there was some sort of unspoken guarantee he'd get a legit shot. I think that's why he got the chance to start. That's why he backed up Dart. I think that it wasn't just coming here and signing. There must have been some sort of handshake deal. We will give you a legitimate look. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me, guys.
This
really
does happen in sports. People don't like it, but it's
doesn't
true.
It happen, Alan?
It absolutely does.
And it happens more often than you think.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. But there does have to come to a point where you just, if you wanted to start the season with him because that was part of your agreement, why he came to you rather than maybe going somewhere else or whatever it was, fine. But because remember, I believe they signed Jameis first.
It was right? Jameis first.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then they did Russ, and because they didn't draft yet, so they didn't know if they'd get the quarterback they wanted. And at that point, it was, now what do we do? But that does happen, Don. It does happen where it's like the handshake, the wink of don't worry about it, we'll take care of you, we'll do the right thing by you. But once you saw him play enough to get to a point where it's like, all right, we got to make a change. I guess it was, don't embarrass him by making him the third quarterback. Don't embarrass him by cutting him. It had to have been that.
I don't see in what world after you saw Wilson play for, guys, I'm not trying to exaggerate, maybe a half of football, you'd go, oh, this is as bad as it's ever looked. He does not have it. That's the funny thing for me is, listen, Winston, can do what he did yesterday, which is be really good and then make some mistakes. And Alan, we can discuss whether the last pick was his fault or not, but he certainly had his moments where
he threw to the spot. Hyatt didn't get there.
But he's
two different things. But okay.
No, but he certainly had his moments where it was his fault.
It wasn't
in that
great.
Spot.
He wasn't great. He was fine.
But he was markedly better than Wilson.
Yeah.
Markedly.
Oh, my God, yes.
He gave them a chance to win.
No question.
The only thing that Wilson gave you was that regulation in Dallas.
Which now it appears anyone could have done that.
Which was just a complete aberration. We've seen Dallas's defense not be good, and he still ended up costing the game with the way he played in overtime. But you can understand, okay, maybe we've tapped into something. Maybe he can do that again. And he never did it again. And it wasn't even not the inability to play, but you could just see his heart was not in it to do it. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure, and this is the way the favor goes down is, listen, Russell's a really good guy. And unfortunately, it didn't work out at the end in Seattle, and Denver was a complete mess. Give him a chance somewhere with a real professional organization, help his reputation out a little bit. Remember, this is a guy that's really going to, I think, have to work hard to get into the Hall of Fame. I think there's enough case that he'll be a borderline Hall of Famer, but he needed a place to land to kind of clean up what happened in Denver.
Yep.
And I think somebody in the Giants organization gave him that opportunity.
Yeah.
And they just didn't know when to stop it.
So no, it's a good theory. It's a good theory. Oh, look, because you hear how they were great teammate, what a leader he's been. They're definitely trying to launder his rep.
All right, who are the actual best teams in the NFL? I think it's the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll find out what Alan and Don have to say as well as you next right here on DHR.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-5 2.5S all-wheel drive for $229 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN S0754711. MSRP $31,070. Zero security deposit. Ends 12/1/25.
Is college even worth it these days? At Empire State University, it actually is. They are SUNY's leading online university. Flexible, affordable, and built for real life. With more than 120 degree programs, you can study what matters most to you. And students agree. They're ranked #1 in student satisfaction among SUNY schools. Whether you are finishing what you started or starting fresh, your goals are within reach. See for yourself. Visit SUNYEmpire.edu before the next term begins.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. J. Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids, no matter where you are. Call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
How about a little game time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey? Because when it's game time, it's... It's Tully time. The Knicks are in Miami facing the Heat with coverage immediately following us right here on 880 at 7. Of course, you can watch Alan Hahn on MSG as well, breaking it all down to a fine powder. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Nothing sadder, guys, when you root for a team than seeing the little message that pops up. The Commanders posted roster update. And then it's the obligatory, we have released kicker Matt Gay. Like the day after the kicker just blows a game, and you know the next. That does make that job the worst in pro sports.
Kicking?
I mean, I know it's great in that you don't get beat up and you don't have to deal with some of the things other people deal with. But, Alan, there are very few jobs where you can have like one really bad day. And they're just like, thanks, it's been real, buddy.
The worst position of the four major sports.
Well, hold on. It depends on what we're this is now you're getting deep. Now
I'm not talking about the worst to play. I'm talking about like what you're saying. It's
yes.
the one where
you can be gone in a second.
Of pressure's on you, and you are bought and sold every day.
I think
kickers are barely even people.
And then you have that part.
Yeah, you have that where you're not respected either. Because think about it. Everybody loves the backup quarterback, the backup goalie, right? They're always the most popular guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be it, Don.
But
I can't think of another position that you are just disposable.
There is no other position that is as unique as the kicker.
Fair.
Because he's really not a football player. Like everybody else has to deal with contact in some way, shape, or form. They've got plays they've got to know. A kicker comes out, doesn't matter what size he is, all he has to do is kick.
Mm-hmm.
And so you wonder, is he respected in the room as an actual teammate?
The good ones are.
And there it is. Did you succeeded or you failed? Yes, sometimes it's the snap, but most times it's, you know what, you weren't able to get the job done.
Yeah.
Everybody else can kind of point the finger. Yeah, that corner, Winston threw the interception, but it was a wrong route. There's a million other reasons why the mistake could have been made. No, you missed the kick. And now you're gone. And that's why even the best of them end up on 6 or 7 teams when it's all said and done, and they get cut. And boy, like closers and relief pitchers in baseball, they can lose it in a nanosecond.
Yeah, it just goes away. You don't even know why.
Koo was nailing like 60-yard field goals in Atlanta, and now he's barely hanging on in New York.
Think about the Jets have Nick Folk back for a second run at the end of his career.
He's 107 years old.
Right. When he was there the first time around, Rex was the coach, and they were winning games, and remember, Rex used to call him Folk Hero, and he would make big kicks. Then he went to other teams, and he was good, and then he just lost it. And then he comes to the Jets, and it's like he found it again. Like you can't predict it. You don't know, but the good ones can stay with a team, and you can actually buy a house in that town. But for the most part, if you're a kicker, you got a lease. You got a short-term lease, and you're hoping that you need to renew that lease in 3 months because you need another 3 months because you actually get to stay. And because you've had enough success. Most of the time, you're not living in whatever city it is that you're kicking in.
Also, though, I mean, the good news. Here's the good news, kickers. You don't really have to do anything because I watched a game yesterday where the teams just went back and forth. Don, I'm talking about chip shots to win the game. At the goal line, under 5 minutes, tied game, go for it on fourth and get stopped.
Sure.
What are we doing?
I know.
I know I'm supposed to wait for Tuesday, but can you guys just tell me, what are we doing? My team could have won the game if they had just kicked a field goal from like 25 yards.
Peter, do you remember those days when we talked somewhere in September about all these 60-plus yard field goals and thinking everybody's just going to kick now. They're always going to kick because they can kick 60-yarders now, and the kickoff game's going to change. And we were worried that there'd be too many kicks. To me, that was the torpedo bat of the NFL. The 60-yard kicks in September.
Can I get the stats on number of kicks? Kofi, where are we at with this? Number of kicks through this point in the season compared to other years. I'm very curious.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because we weren't the only game like that. There were multiple games like that yesterday and throughout the last several weeks where now it's just basically like you can't ever settle for 3. Even if it's going to be to go up 3.
But you
have so little faith in your defense that if you kick the ball off, you know they're scoring 7 on you and you're losing.
All right, you say this, but we had 5 games that a game-winning score in the final play, and they were all field goals. Dolphins in overtime, right?
Oh, we have some coming up in the binge.
Yeah. Bears, right? Panthers. That was quite an ending, that Panthers Falcons.
That was something.
And then Texans, right? And obviously, and then of course Denver. So,
no, listen.
While you're seeing, it's like it's so crazy. But you're not wrong. I don't know, Don. Did you see it the same way? Because I felt like, man, there's just an inordinate amount of go for it on fourth downs happening here, and Brandon Staley's not coaching anywhere. But yet, there still are game-winning field goals being kicked all over the league. In fact, 5 of them.
But the wind was really bad in Philly last night.
And New
Obviously,
York.
really bad in New York yesterday. So and you wonder sometimes these games. That was the first game ever in Madrid. So, Peter, I don't know how much.
I don't think
it was more than I did.
I don't think it was a wind situation.
No, but the turf because they play on soccer fields. So was there an issue? with the turf?
We didn't touch their soccer field.
No. They put actually.
They put in a field.
Yeah, they put down a field for the NFL.
Don, it was insane. They literally take the Real Madrid field. The stadium opens up. It goes underground. The field goes underground, Don, into an underground greenhouse where it lives.
Crazy.
I think they do something similar in Arizona, right?
No, the tray
retracts out to the parking lot so the sun can get to it.
Yes, but it's very similar. But to
Vegas,
go underneath
Vegas
into a
has
greenhouse
something like
is
that.
crazy.
But the greenhouse underground to protect. Let me tell you one thing. Whatever they're doing in Vegas, respectfully, or Arizona, I guarantee you the care ain't nothing like what they're putting in for Real Madrid.
Oh, no.
I guarantee you that.
No.
But no, and Alan, we're both right. Because, yes, kicks still happen. But the truth is, if you have a lot of close games, let's be realistic. Normally, in close games, they all close with kicks. Yeah. That's what we were always used to. The part that I couldn't get over was that in a game where neither offense was great, the final score of the game I'm talking about was 16-13.
Yeah.
This wasn't some huge offensive output. So why can't a coach, Dan Quinn or Mike McDaniel, just say, we're going to kick a field goal here? Over and over. I think 3 different times teams were stopped on fourth down inside the 3-yard line. It's just weird, man. So who is the cream of the crop to you, Alan Hahn? I told you, to me, when you look at this league and it is wide open, if you haven't seen the news as of today, at 5-5, the Kansas City Chiefs are on the outside looking in, which is a crazy thing. The Ravens are obviously on the outside looking in. In the NFC, the Lions are on the outside looking in. You know, Green Bay's hanging in at the 6. But right now, it is not the version of the NFL we've seen before where you absolutely know we're on a collision course to the Chiefs versus so-and-so. It is much more open this year. To me, Alan, you have to at some point, no matter how ugly they win, and there have been multiple times this year when it has been ugly, I have to give it up for the world champs. Like, they are that for a reason.
They find a way.
This has been year after year. This isn't just happening right now. Every year they find ugly ways to win, and it ends up leading to like 13 or 14 of them wins, and then they go into the playoffs and are very, very hard to beat. So to me, at this point, given that they have the title, someone's got to come get it. To me, they are the cream of the crop in the NFL.
And they added to their defense, which made it even tougher, right? Like their front seven is impenetrable. Like you can't run against them. They put pressure on your quarterback. Their secondary is good enough. They are really tough. And even when they have a petulant wide receiver who can't help but try to ruin things with his mood, what do? They force feed him. Oh, you're not getting enough passes? Tell you what, in this game, we're going to exhaust you with targets. And it's not that nobody knew that was coming, but they did it. And they still were able to figure out a way to win the game. So I'm with you on the Eagles. But there are flaws with that team, which is why I'm not going to pick them.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you that the team that I feel like I have the most confidence in is the LA Football Rams. Because, again, it's, confidence comes from demonstrated performance. It's a head coach that certainly can outcoach most of the guys that he goes up against with his strategy because he's a psycho. It's a defense that doesn't get enough credit, and it's the MVP of the league right now throwing a football with a very good plethora of skill players around him. So I look at them as a dangerous, dangerous team when you get to the postseason, especially if they get home field.
And we thought that last year, too. Didn't we have that conversation last season, Peter, that the Rams might be that sneaky good team? And they almost beat the Eagles.
They were there.
I think they beat the Eagles if it doesn't start to snow.
It felt that way.
Didn't it feel that way?
And then it got away from them.
Stafford just wasn't the same, right? Once it got real messy, wasn't the same.
God, and because it is interesting. You look at this team over the last several years, and while no one's confusing them with the Chiefs or the Eagles or even the Bills, but they really are right there. The Rams, with the exception of 1 year, over the last 4 or 5 years, they're always there. They took 1 year off, basically. Injuries, Stafford had issues, and then came right back to it, and they're consistently there. Which, by the way, you got to give McVay a lot of credit.
Oh, it's again, he's a psycho. He's like what John Gruden was supposed to become.
It's a great take.
Which is why, if you're a Giants fan, not to get back on the Giants because it's too depressing of a topic, but if you're a Giants fan and you think John Gruden is the right coach for you, then you're looking for the movie. You're not really looking for reality. Because John Gruden, the character, the voice, the sneer, the attitude, the way he talks, like the whole thing about him, I get it. It's a fun movie when he's the character. But the real person hasn't won in the NFL, like real winning and organizing a franchise and getting guys to buy in. None of that's happened in 20 years. And the Super Bowl he won that everybody's bragging about was won by somebody else. That was someone else's team. He came in and took over for Tony Dungy because they had to make a coaching change, and he just had to be in the right place at the right time. But you cannot tell me that a guy that because you like his voice and his attitude and the sneer and the look and all that stuff, you can't tell me that that's the guy you want to give your franchise to and think it's going to magically work. There's not enough resume there for me for this job. So that's why McVay is the great example of the guy who has the respect of his players, who also makes quick decision on players, too, when he starts to see it go wrong. And by the way, I was told Devontae Adams was done. In fact, I saw it when he wore a Jets jersey. He looked done.
Well,
does he look done?
No, he doesn't.
No,
he looks good.
very much not done. They moved Taco Bell to L.A. for him in the locker room this time, by the way, which is very impressive. But that's what I mean. You can take a player that looks cooked, put him in your system, and now he's still got a lot of tire left on that tread. Why? Because he's got buy-in. Because he gets into the system, he looks around, he goes, oh, no, this is what it's supposed to look like. I'm a little more motivated now. It's just different. And that's why the Rams look like that team. And nobody's really talking about them. We do have our focus on other things. Because you know why? They're doing things very boring right now with the Rams. They aren't really a big story aside from Stafford and being 37 years old and still playing at a high level. That's why I got the Rams, guys.
The two things with the Rams, obviously, is the health of Stafford, which all goes away. And they only have a one-game lead in their division. Now, they just beat Seattle. They got to play Seattle again.
Yep.
And I'm just looking at Seattle's schedule. And both teams have not a tough schedule, but taking a look at Seattle's schedule coming up here, they're at Tennessee, home against the Vikings, at Atlanta, home against Indy, home against the Rams, at Carolina, at San Francisco.
Well,
so there's some wins. Not easy, but there are a couple of.
By the way, the New York Bowl, I didn't realize that the Colts were going to play Seattle. How about the Darnold versus Daniel Jones game?
How about that? Yeah.
Can we get that in New York? I wonder if that game will be in New York.
But that's why I love your pick of the Rams, because there's pedigree there.
Yep.
And the coaches won. And these teams, as we get down, they could be included with the Eagles and the Chiefs of, they've been there, done that. They know. Does Seattle know anymore? Of how it is to win in the big spot? I mean, we saw, no, it wasn't all Sam's fault, but we saw when Minnesota had their chance against the big bad Detroit Lions, they lost that game at the end of the regular season that cost them, and then they lost to them in the playoffs, right? So that the Rams, Seattle's kind of in the same boat. Like back in the old days with the Legion of Boom, you'd say, oh, yeah, for sure,
right.
They're going to be ready. But are they going to be ready in the big spot here down the stretch to win that division, even though they're only a game back and they've got a home game against the Rams and they played them tough yesterday? As you said, when it comes time in that big spot, I'm probably going to bet the Rams in the big spot to win that division and take it. You got to be looking at the teams that have won recently that are going to know how to do it. It's the reindeer games and winning games September, October, midway through November. Now it's getting cold. Now it means a lot. And can you do it?
They've outscored teams by 100. There's only 2 other teams that have done that. And they outscored I do believe in a year. Tell me if this is this theory's off, guys. In a year like this that we're talking about, where you do have parity, where you do have a lot of teams are sort of in the same bunch, that no one's really the obvious choice. Everybody has a flaw. The Eagles are the defending champs, and they're very much at the top. But when you look at it, then you say, okay, if everybody's on fairly level playing ground when it comes to playoff teams, then give me the coaching staff and the coach that has the resume, the experience, and a system that we know can win. Because I just feel like those coaches then will have their teams ready to go. And then when you have even games, you always give me coaching. Coaching is the tiebreaker in even games, in my opinion.
Now, you know what's the tiebreaker in my life, guys? Therapy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I have an ad by BetterHelp, guys, because November, listen, BetterHelp's doing something special, encouraging everyone to reach out and check in on friends, to reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there for them, man. Everyone needs that person, that friend, that road dog, that ace, that ride or die. Well, listen, BetterHelp therapists, they could be that for you, all right? They have an initial matching situation where you fill out some forms and figure out who the right fit is for you. The questionnaire identifies your needs, and then their 12 years plus experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate will do the rest. Typically, they'll get it right the first time, but if you're not happy with your therapist match, switch it anytime, all right? With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp's one of the world's largest online therapy platforms, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on, how about this, over 1.7 million client reviews. So this month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250. Oh, we were talking Rams. Let's go to Griffin in Connecticut. What's up, Griff?
There you go.
Hey guys. I think the Rams are that team to beat, and the reason why, they don't turn over the football. What they do is they force you into turning over the football. They have forced a lot of turnovers this year, and Matthew Stafford right now is playing video game numbers. Mm-hmm. These numbers are ridiculous of what he's doing. He's 22 straight touchdowns, 22 touchdowns, no interceptions in his last something games.
7
They're
games.
Video game numbers.
7 games.
That's
22
turnovers.
That's crazy. No, what Griff's saying is accurate.
Wild.
22 passing touchdowns without an interception over the last 7 games. That's historic.
They're video game numbers. And the thing is, they have Sam Darnold's number. So I feel like, already are going to win that division because I think they can beat the Seahawks again. They have Sam Darnold's number. Look at the playoff game last year and look at this year. He has struggled when he plays Sean McVay and the Rams.
He had four picks. The last time Sam threw 4 picks was the Seeing Ghosts game.
Hey, Griffin.
Griff?
Yeah, Peter.
When you
Peter?
Well, yeah, when you hear,
he's getting a tone with you.
When you hear this,
what, Peter?
What is that? What do you hear when you hear that?
I don't know.
To me, it sounds like you were about to push me up against the wall, take my lunch money, and send me home crying. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, okay. I would not do that to you.
Well, thank you, Griffin. We love you. That's very sweet.
I didn't hear what you said.
No, listen. Oh, see, that's why you said.
What, Peter?
No, come on. You got to own it, Griff.
Yeah, Griff, come on. You sure?
Own it.
I love it. I love Griff showing a little aggression.
That was not. That was not. Excuse me. Can you say that?
Yeah.
Say again.
Pardon?
No, that was what,
Peter?
Yeah.
Please, get away! Get away!
We love you. We love you, Griff.
No.
Well, he's the kind of guy that probably feels it's bad to lose your temper and be mad at
So
somebody.
he feels bad now.
Right.
That like in that moment when I said something, he just wanted to grab me by the throat and say,
What, Peter?
Yeah, you want to own that.
I mean, he might as well have said McFly and knocked on my forehead. He was one notch from hello, McFly.
Yep.
I mean, anybody home? Right there.
Right there.
Now, the thing with the Rams is, can they win in Philly? They couldn't do it last year in the playoffs. One of their 2 losses came in Philly this year, although that was a crazy game. The Philadelphia had to, was it 2 block kicks to win that game?
Yeah.
But that's the test, because this dynamic offense and all that, if they've got to go play a game in Philly the way they had to do it last year in the playoffs where it's cold and it's snow or freezing rain, that would be interesting to see.
Which is why they need the home field. I'm telling you.
Yeah. That is going to be a big deal. Now, do I think Philly can go to L.A. and win? Yes, I do.
Well, no. Philly, you believe, can go anywhere and win.
Yeah.
At this
Yeah.
point.
But can the Rams go to Philly and win? I'm not sure.
And you know what else, too, that we all hate, but we know is the weapon in the playoffs especially, is every time the Eagles need just 1 yard, they'll probably get it.
It's so exactly.
Every time they need it, they're going to get it. And that's something we almost underestimate or underplay the value of the tush push when it comes to playoffs?
But
do we underplay it?
But
go ahead.
You know these leagues get together before the playoffs start. Could that end up being something that works against the Eagles? Well, all of a sudden now they're seeing the false start. All of a sudden they're calling because they're going to try to be as buttoned up in the postseason as possible.
Good
point. The 1 o'clock regional game. Listen, we missed it. Do you think they're going to get together and say, let's pay attention to this?
I like this, Don. I see what you're doing. This will be the officiating point of emphasis for the playoffs.
Right, exactly.
And the first time they try it, they're going to throw a flag. Sirianni's going to lose his mind.
Right.
And now all of a sudden their weapon is taken from them.
Don't rule it out, man.
Oh, I like this. Darth Vader's arm is cut off. The saber goes flying.
That's right.
And now,
Don, by the way, you haven't given us your team yet, have you?
I thought you said the Chiefs. Oh, no. That's right.
No.
You gave us your team in the bubble. Right.
Yeah. You didn't say. On the other side, let's take a break. We got to do the binge, though.
We got the binge.
See, so you want to think on it, Don?
Well, I will think about it. I'll chew on it.
All right, because I'm feeling the Eagles, which is unfortunate because I hate them with a virulent passion. They make me sick to my stomach. What doesn't is the NFL binge, which we will do next, right here on DHR.
What, Peter?
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
At the 5-yard line, handoff Brees Hall, finds a crease, runs left, he's into the end zone for a jet touchdown.
Jets fans, clear the runway and be at MetLife Stadium for Week 13 as your New York Jets take on the Atlanta Falcons. Sunday, November 30th at 1 p.m., presented by New Jersey Lottery. Join us as we celebrate First Responders Day. Don't miss your chance to be at the game. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can talk college football with your BFF while taking Buster to the vet.
Hey, yeah, I can't believe he ate the whole thing of chicken wings.
And I can't believe we're staging a comeback. Touchdown!
Yes!
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. For wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers, must be connected to impacted tower at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. It's a better ride on the Cross Island northbound in Queens. They picked up that tractor-trailer that snuck on the roadway over by Union Turnpike. Just some minor slowdowns from the UBS Arena. Not moving much on the Grand Central westbound. Right before Kew Gardens, a crash in the left lane. Traffic is starting to back up there to the Clearview. Rough ride on the BQE eastbound in Brooklyn over by Atlantic Avenue. An accident in the right lane. Heavy delays go back onto the inbound Gowanus. You're solid there from the Belt Merge. Best of it's the outbound George, looking good on the southbound Deegan and Henry Hudson. West Side Highway northbound, some pockets of slowdowns from the 90s. Inbound George, no issues for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln and Holland tunnels about 5 to 10 minutes each. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
This is...
We're going to rub football all over ourselves today. I did consume a lot of football back in the day, pre-kids, in my underwear.
The NFL Binge.
You watching every game, baby? Are you watching?
You guys ready for the NFL Binge?
Born ready.
Peter?
No, don't yell at me, Griffin.
Whoopie-doo!
I'm very excited about it. Don, how are you feeling?
Terrific.
Richard in Manhattan.
Hi, Richard. All right, we do it every single Monday at this time. Catch you up with everything else that happened in the league. Maybe you were locked into the Repug Giants game. It actually wasn't even that Repug.
No, I would disagree. Well,
I think it was a bit of a game. I enjoyed it. You got to spend, if you get to play an upper echelon team in the conference and be in that game until the last drive, it may not be enough for Anthony Pusick. I think for the average yo-yo, not too bad.
And I wasn't a big fan of Drew Brees, but I thought he had a really good game.
On the call, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He knew Jameis, so he had that, connection, which was good. A little monotone, but not bad.
All right, guys. 5 teams recorded the game-winning score on the final play Sunday, which is tied with November 12th, 2023 and September 30th, 2018 for the most on a single day in NFL history. Here's a few of them. In Madrid, it was the Dolphins coming out on top in overtime against my commies.
And they bring on Patterson to try and win this thing. This will be a 29-yard field goal attempt. Always down kick is up. And the kick is good. Dolphins win it in Madrid.
Now, give me some background on that.
Which part?
Like, who is on the call?
That would be a big 105.9 in
That's
Miami.
Their local, yeah.
Go ahead.
That's
what are you
their
thinking?
local radio call.
I don't feel. Doesn't it feel like they weren't there?
Oh, they weren't there.
They bring on Patterson to try and win this thing. This will be a 29-yard field goal attempt. Always down kick is up. And the kick is good. Dolphins win it in Madrid.
I mean,
in Madrid.
But here's the thing. Well, the Dolphins won it in Madrid. He was back at Coconut Grove.
What was the part that gave it away for you? Why did you feel so strongly?
I didn't get any sense of the moment at all.
Yeah.
First of all, it was a chip shot field goal, so you know he's going to get it.
Yeah, I was about to say there was no moment. I was watching.
Yeah, but
I turned it off. No, I wasn't watching. I'm sorry. I was. If you want to know the truth, Don, I was on my iPad sitting on the can, and guess what? Turned it off and said I'd rather finish my business than watch this.
Because, all right, no matter what, if it's a game-winning field goal attempt, no matter where it is, there's going to be some drama to it. It was almost like, all right, we're going to go, and then it's good, and it's like, wow, it's good. Like, why was there no build-up to they're about to win the game? And I'm just thinking maybe it was the frustration of not being there.
Could it be he's a complete hack?
No.
Maybe it's two announcers that wanted the coach fired, and they're like, this guy's going to win again.
No. I'm telling you, Miami, they're getting ready, man. They're selling playoff tickets. They're getting ready.
Oh, I know.
You know, when the game went to overtime, after both teams had no interest in winning in regulation, when it went to overtime, the Dolphins deferred. And I went, oh, that's an interesting choice, deferring in overtime. I respect it. Also shows you really know that the Commanders can't score. And what does Marcus Mariota do? After Peter Rosenberg and Alan Hahn have glazed him all season as a great backup, drops back, first throw in overtime, intercepted. I mean, that is as bad as it gets.
You know what that screams? Career backup. Don't even bother.
By the way, I got to tell you, it's a great point by Alan. You've been very good today. That's another astute point.
But like that, like a guy that still you would think one more chance.
And then
right?
People watching it, they've gone, hey, you know what? This team's bad, but I got to tell you, Mariota's pretty good. Yeah. What's he doing in overtime? He decided to go over the middle of the field where a corner was guarding Zach Ertz. Oh, threw right to the corner. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not what you want. Yeah. All right, let's keep going here, guys.
What else we got?
That's Riley Patterson with the big game winner for Miami. But are the Bears for real?
Oh, God.
They may be.
Out of the hole to Torrey Taylor, right hash slide angled up from 49. Cairo Santos, the 8 on his white jersey. Awaiting the snap. Snap is back. Hold is good. Sweeps the right leg. Cairo Santos is up. He's good!
That's the way to make a kick call.
Good from 48!
You're not wrong. Cairo Santos knocks in the 48-yarder as time expires. Bears win 19-17 over the Vikings. But Bears head coach Ben Johnson says there is more work to do.
Guys, we're mid-season right now, so we're not even looking at that. We've earned 7 wins so far, and we're really looking for the opportunity to go 1-0 next week.
Now, I almost took the Bears. Were they 2.5-point favorites or dogs in Minnesota? They were dogs, weren't they?
I thought they were favorites.
Well, if they're favorites, then I know the number was 2.5, and that means they came up just short.
Just short.
Man, Vegas is good.
So there's two things with the Bears, right? Because they're one of those teams. They're 7-3. So you would think, all right, they have one of the better records in the NFC. And you asked that. You said, are they for real? They were trailing in this game. They got 20. They got 19 points. They even got to 20 points. But Ben Johnson, as a head coach and an offensive genius, he will get you the game-winning drive because they've done it 5 times, trailing in the last 2 minutes.
That's what they do.
It's what it's. But that's again to me. That's coaching. That's coaching. Like, we got to win. I can script the drive to get us into position to win the game, to either kick or get the touchdown. They've done it 5 times. So 5 of the 7 wins had to come from behind.
And by the way,
late in the game.
It was the Vikings as a short favorite, so that would have been a winner if you took the Bears.
Well, they were.
That's right, yeah.
Bears.
And the Broncos making a statement against the Chiefs.
Jeremy Crawshaw will hold it. The snap from Mitchell for Bodie. Kick on the way from 35. It is good. And the Denver Broncos have won at the gun.
Will Lutz as time expires.
Good call,
Denver,
by the way.
22-19 win. The great
That's
Steve Levy.
That was phenomenal, that call.
Come on, Steve Levy, for God's sake.
They won at the gun. He gave us a little rhyme.
Well, and so did Nance on TV. Did you hear Nance's call?
Did not.
Lutz in the clutch.
Rhyme of Jace.
Corny.
Yeah.
Corn
I had the
poem.
sound down. Glad I did.
Hello,
friends.
You're not a fan, Don.
Levy nailed it.
Levy was good.
He's very, very good. All right, no last-second magic for the Seahawks.
This one to be decided by a field goal one way or another. Jason Myers from 61 yards to win it with 1 second to go for the Seahawks. Snap, hold, and boot on the way. It's fading right. It's bleeding right. It's no good.
That's a call.
The Rams are in first place in the NFC West.
Fantastic call.
Did he say bleeding?
He said bleeding. He said
that's
fading and
tremendous.
bleeding.
That's so good.
Very good.
Very good call.
We have breaking news.
Oh.
Is this
NFL,
real?
by the
Is
way.
this real?
Yeah.
Like the news you have. I mean, is it real? Will I care?
Is it
Adam
onion?
Schefter?
Here we go.
Adam Schefter has tweeted, NFL has suspended Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase for spitting at the Steelers defensive back Jalen Ramsey.
That did happen.
Chase denied spitting at Ramsey, but the league determined the video evidence was sufficient to warrant a suspension.
So Ramsey was kicked out of the game.
Yep.
But now Chase was suspended. Because
just the one game.
Because last week my boy Deron Payne on the commies got kicked out for punching a player.
But he got punched first.
But did they ever go back and punish the other player who punched him first?
It's a good question.
Because I don't think they did. And
I don't
later in the
think they
week,
did either.
everyone saw, he was punched in the face first.
It's the retaliation, though.
But listen, here's Ramsey saying what happened with him and Jamar.
He spit on me, so I don't give football after that, respectfully.
And Jamar Chase said he didn't spit.
I ain't never opened my mouth to that guy.
So what do you think prompted the reaction from him?
Well, he don't like some of the words I told him.
What are you saying?
I ain't spit on nobody.
No.
By the way, I may need that as a drop. I don't spit on nobody. Knowing now that you are patently lying is
a good.
That
No,
might. That's
no,
good.
I just have a lisp.
Yeah. So no, I was
That's
talking to him.
Suffering succotash.
You think it was a suffering succotash moment?
I'm just
He
saying.
he didn't like the things he was saying. Maybe he
Yeah.
just didn't like the feel of the things he was saying.
Speaking of things I don't like the feel of, a tush push. Nobody likes that, do they?
Nope. No. Well,
I mean, not me.
Not me.
Sunday Night Football and the Eagles, the Lions. No one's offense was explosive, but the Eagles did enough.
They're going to line up right on the goal line and try and stop that push from coming in.
Can they? No, not even close. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts.
Wait a minute. The
Even
deadpan of that delivery
Oh,
was
my
phenomenal.
The Eagle announcers have checked out on it.
Yeah, they're done.
There it is. There's the evidence right there.
But how about the way he done? Come on, as an announcer, did you not appreciate how he was so deadpan? Can they? No. Like the way he did it was unreal. Excellent call.
They're out.
They're
bored.
checked out.
They're
They
done
hate
with
it too. Sad.
Apparently, it's possible that there was actually something technical wrong during that game, and the WIP team actually had music in their ears playing when it happened. So they didn't know what was going on. I think otherwise you would have gotten the more
Is that a real thing?
traditional Merrill Reese excitement.
By the way, ESPN Bet Sportsbook favorites to win the Super Bowl. All right, updated odds.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is fun.
Do you want to guess
You want to
who
save
is
this for after the binge?
Well, do we still have time? Or are we
No,
late
we
in the
still
binge?
have, we have one more thing in the binge, but we have time.
Oh no, go! I'm sorry. I thought that was the last game.
because this could be a lot of fun, Alan.
All right, I thought that was the last game.
That
I'm
is
sorry, Peter.
don't be sorry. That is absolutely the last game. The last cut I wanted to play though was just Dan Campbell. 0 for 5 the Lions on fourth down conversions.
There's some things I wish I would have done different. Look, the bottom line is you obviously, if you go totally conservative in the way this game played out and the way it was, you got a better chance of winning that game than some of those decisions I made. I understand that, but also that's who we are, it's who I am, and it bit us today.
What do you got, Alan? I like the sound of this. Give me those
Who
odds.
we are, it's who I am.
Hey, listen, you live with it and you die with it, but there are some
Well,
days
we've
when
got
you go.
the updated win the AFC, win the NFC, and then win the Super Bowl.
And you said you're doing this with ESPN Bet still?
ESPN Bet, I know we're only there. Yep. Oh, while it's still
with us,
breathing.
All right. What do you
I
got?
say we give it some energy.
Is there a mirror they're using to determine that? Or do you... I don't know.
By the way, I should have mentioned earlier that today's binge is brought to you by our friends at Ramsey Mazda.
Sure.
What are you doing?
But give it to
I
us,
know.
Alan. Give it to
you
us.
breathing?
Well, no. Besides Ramsey Mazda, the ESPN Bet has the latest. I will give you each one guess at who is the odds-on favorite.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles are favorites in the NFC.
Yeah, well, just the Super Bowl.
No, overall. Got to be the
overall.
Eagles.
Yeah, it is the Eagles. Yes.
I thought it was AFC.
Who is the favorite?
Hold on. What are the like plus 200?
Plus 500.
Plus 500.
Yeah, 500.
The favorites plus 500.
500. That says a lot.
But that's a nice bet.
How about the AFC favorites to win the Super Bowl? What is the highest AFC team?
Who has the best odds?
The shortest odds for the AFC team to win the.
I bet it's still the Chiefs.
You know, I think it's going to be the Broncos.
No, the Bills.
Wait. Final answer?
Go ahead. Don's Broncos.
My final answer is Denver.
Denver. Peter? Gave me two teams.
I'm still going Chiefs.
Peter wins. Plus 800.
Well, now that's a great bet.
Dude,
you get to bet the Chiefs at plus 800 still?
Dude, wait a minute.
What are you doing?
That is interesting.
So between the Eagles and the Chiefs is one NFC team. At plus 550. So right on the heels of the Eagles. Rams.
Yeah.
Rams.
Correct.
Chargers.
Listen, I understand that it's still the Chiefs. And we were just talking them up when it push comes to shove. But they're 3.5 games back at Denver. They're most likely not winning the division. So their path is going to be harder. They might have to play an extra game.
Yeah.
Exclusively on the road. And I know that they're defending AFC champions, but I think Denver, I'm not sure I trust them, but in that building, if they can get home field and a bye.
Well, that building with that defense.
That building, that defense, and I understand they got a kid at quarterback, but they've got a former Super Bowl champion as the head coach.
Yeah, and they
one of the most
simplify
difficult
it for
places
Knicks
to
too.
play.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're a lock to win the division. They're minus 300 to win the division.
Right, so
Denver is, but the Chiefs are plus 500 to win the division. So it's like that's the next shortest odds to win that division. But I just find it interesting. Now, value-wise, I'm going to give you three options. The Bills are plus 850 to win the Super Bowl. You don't like that?
No.
The Lions are plus 900 to win the Super Bowl. Don't love that?
I mean,
how about if I gave you the Packers at 16-1?
Packers aren't going anywhere.
No. So we're not feeling it. So so then Broncos are also 16-1 like the Patriots. Are any of those good value?
Yes, I think the Broncos are a good value.
Broncos at 16-1.
I think the Broncos are a good value because they're a team that could still get a bye, and I think that's a tougher place to play than Indianapolis.
Not only a bye, but a bye in a home game.
You know, listen, I know that they've got holes, but you got Sean Payton, you got a great defense, you got tremendous home field advantage, and you may be playing one less game than everybody else.
And at home.
You may.
Your next game's at home. That's the thing. Your division game's at home. Division round. So, yeah, but how about the Chiefs still having the third shortest odds?
Well, you know what I appreciate about that? It's called Vegas just knowing what's actually up. Like, we can show us numbers, talk, 5-5, outside. Look, we've all been here. And by the way, let's not forget, the Chiefs were sitting at 5-3 2 seconds ago. They lost a hard-fought game at Buffalo. They always lose at Buffalo during the regular season. And then they lose by a field goal to their division rival, Denver. And now they're 5-5. They're okay.
And they get to play them again.
Exactly. And they have a few easy games coming up as well to get right.
Not next. I mean, they got the Colts, right? They're home against the Colts.
Can I say this is crazy? I think Colts at home in Kansas City is not a hard game for them.
That's saying a lot, man.
Listen, if it were in Indy, I might have a different conversation. At Arrowhead, what's the line? And by the way, if I pick it, just bet the other way.
So here, go ahead, Don. You got the schedule?
Just quickly. Home against the Colts.
Love it.
Thanksgiving at Dallas.
Oh, win.
Home against Texans. Home against Chargers.
Ooh.
At Titans.
Win.
Home against Denver. At Raiders.
Yeah, they'll get to 10-7 or so, and they'll get into wild card.
Yep, exactly. They got to win that Denver game, obviously, but there's at least 5. There's 4 wins for sure. You can put in pen, and then the Denver game at home is
and then there's one more. So they could get to 11. I bet they get to 10.
Yeah.
And I think, what do we got here? At Commies for Denver, at Vegas, home against Green Bay, home against Jacksonville, at Kansas City, and then home against the Chargers.
Ooh.
So it looks like Denver's got a bit of an easier schedule.
Yeah.
Denver's going to win that division, and I think they're going to. I think they're going to be the 1 seed. New England's going to have something to say. The Colts are going to have something to say. But Chiefs are going to be helping them out if they can beat the Colts.
What a potentially fun playoff, and you know what could make it extra sexy? If for example, humor me for a moment.
Sure, why not?
If the Chiefs come in, they sneak in and get a playoff spot towards the bottom, and the Ravens sneak in and get a spot, and you get rid of, respectfully, the Jaguars, that's an entirely loaded field. I mean, we're stuck with the Colts no matter what, and they're kind of, they're okay, but I don't think anyone thinks they're special.
No.
But besides that, the Patriots thing, kind of interesting. Drake Maye's a stud.
I completely agree.
The Steelers with Rodgers, they're not great, but they're interesting to watch.
I feel
Bills
like the
are the
Steelers
Bills.
are in a free fall. Yeah.
Well, they're not free falling. I mean, they got to win.
With the Rodgers injury is big, man.
What, do they give us a timeline?
I don't think we have an update yet, but you got to worry about that.
Yeah, the way he was holding his wrist, it didn't look great.
No.
That'll do it for the NFL Binge, driven by Ramsey Mazda.
That's a good binge.
It's the experience.
Small fracture. Small fracture.
That's what they're saying?
Yeah, but he wants to play through it.
Well, it's his left hand. Man up. Rub some dirt on it. It's the experience of driving a new Mazda and buying a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Sure.
We'll talk to you guys more about this. Trying to spend the day figuring out who the cream of the crop in the NFL is. I'll tell you what, it's the only league like this, though, where, like, everyone's got to say, everyone's got a different pick, and somehow the team that you think always wins right now is on the outside looking in. It's Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York. Oh, but you know what? Speaking of football, let me talk football for a second. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets because you got yards to touchdowns, who's going to win. It's all there with FanDuel, and any play can be the play of the game. So tonight, FanDuel's giving all customers a 30% profit boost token, all right? You can get on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Peter to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, 21 and over, physically present in New York, opted required, bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
This whole idea that Joe Shane is just safe and you have nothing to worry about is apparently not true. He's going to do the due diligence. All right, here's a folder on him and a folder on him and a folder on him. They will determine who they want based off of his information. He is hardly safe. Not that he won't be back, but it's not a slam dunk that he will be back.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This is the Michael K. Show.
Great teams employ players that look out for other players. Why would this guy with a half sack being taken to the top of the first round think it's okay to be late to meetings? That some veteran guy on the defensive side doesn't take Abdul Carter aside and say, dude, well, what are you doing? But that's hard to do on a team that just lost its coach, that's 2-9, that has lost heartbreaking games.
The Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
This one's for the flavor fanatics. Sour apple 5-hour energy shots don't mess around. They bring the bite. Tart, tangy, and packed with tasty caffeine, this little 2-ounce bottle punches above its weight. With zero sugar and as much caffeine as your favorite 12-ounce coffee, it's the kind of pick-me-up that keep your taste buds happy without the crash. And it doesn't stop at sour apple. There are 17 bold flavors waiting for you to discover. Pick one up in store or stock up online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can talk college football with your BFF while taking Buster to the vet.
Hey, yeah, I can't believe he ate the whole thing of chicken wings.
And I can't believe we're staging a comeback. Touchdown!
Yes!
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. For wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers, must be connected to impacted tower at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now, ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games are the perfect gift for everyone on your list.
Like me, your Aunt Jules. I told you I didn't need a gift this year, but I secretly really want one.
Or me, your neighbor Frank. I hope you didn't forget I'm coming to your holiday party tonight.
Or me. Why does no one ever think of the voiceover guy? Anyway, New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games have more winners and top prizes up to $5,000. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, get 1.9% financing on a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 Hybrid Preferred or lease for just $279 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN128251. MSRP $36,570. Zero security deposit. APR $17.48 per $1,000 finance. Ends 12/1/25. That's December 1st for you and me.
Yeah.
So a lot happened over the weekend, guys. During E&M, we'll get to some of it. We got a little Shedeur Sanders there, Alan.
Oh, very little.
Yeah, you know what? That was tough for me because there were times where you could see it, and then there were also a couple of drops. But I'm not gonna make excuses.
You sound like Aaron Boone, the drop we have from Aaron Boone right now.
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah, I should. Look. He's.
Yep. It's actually really. That's literally how I felt. I didn't know quite what to say other than, yeah, he had a chance, and
I haven't watched yet. Was it terrible?
No, it wasn't. There were moments.
4 for 16 though. Like
I know, but there were
he
a
also
couple
could take a sack.
No,
Peter,
there were a couple of drops.
He could take a sack.
Yeah.
What do you mean, take it well?
Oh.
No, meaning like try to, what could have been a 5-yard loss ends up being 15.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that.
He runs for his life instead of just throw the flag.
Well, that's called turning something into nothing. I mean, nothing into something.
Right.
Or nothing into much worse.
Right.
Right. Turning nothing into pain. Yeah, I thought he was going to do it though. He had the guy open in the end zone, missed him.
It
didn't bode well for me and my praise of him.
Well, listen, that's a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody thought it's been clear they don't think he's super ready at this point.
No.
We would have known.
Well, when you don't practice with the ones, I mean, that's the first time you're throwing these guys.
But it was at home, and the crowd was very receptive.
Sure.
So, and that's not your father's Baltimore Ravens defense, as we've talked about before. But still, it's a tough spot. Divisional opponent. That was a crazy game.
Oh, yeah. Let me look at this because maybe you guys are overdoing it. You know what I mean? I'm going to open the box score here. 4 for 16. All right, hold on.
Not
maybe
good.
That's misleading.
No.
40.
No, it's not.
47 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, a QBR of 2.4, and a rating which they give you out. It's like a QB rating is like it's like signing your name on the SATs, and he got a 13.5.
Well, but Peter, I asked for Shedeur Sanders numbers, not Justin Fields.
No, I know. He said, hold my beer. I can do Justin Fields better than you can. Although, can I just say, while we're being hard on the kid, I mean, when did you hear a line this nasty from Lamar Jackson? 14 of 25, 193, no touchdowns, 2 picks, QBR of 25, rating of 47.
Yeah, I think that's the first time.
And he rushed for 10 yards, guys.
Yeah,
That's
Lamar.
hard to believe. Yeah, that's hard to believe.
It was like the first time I think in his career he had no touchdown passes and more than 1 interception in a game. It was. Listen, the one thing the Browns could do is make a quarterback look bad, because that's the one thing they've got going for them there.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But and they still found a way to win the game. But it was, and we should mention, since we haven't gotten to it yet, that it will be no Justin Fields against the Ravens for the Jets. That they've made the decision that Taylor is going to make the start.
Did you see Cimini gave this little bit of the dose of reality? If you're a Jets fan thinking, oh, they'll just cut Fields and move on.
No.
If the Jets cut Justin Fields before June 1st, they will have a $22 million cap charge. Aaron Rodgers is going to count for $35 million in 2026. So potentially it's $57 million on the cap for 2 quarterbacks who would not be playing for you. So can we assume that Justin Fields will more than likely be a Jet next season?
No, he's going to
some
definitely
capacity.
be a Jet. The idea that he'll back up and just be a spare part, but no, there's a very good chance that he's going to be on the team next year. But going from Fields to Taylor is basically playing with your Tonka truck with your left hand instead of your right.
When you get that bored, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's isn't there a word? It's the stranger is what you're talking about.
It is the stranger.
You mean the stranger?
You're cheating on one hand.
Now, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm talking about a toy truck.
Yeah, of course you are. But honestly though, like with Fields, are either one of you? And again, I'm so checked out. But there is this alter reality of, can Justin Fields be useful, even though he's not your starting quarterback? And I think he can, because I think there's a future for Justin Fields in the NFL now that he's 3 teams in and still hasn't figured it out with his arm, of like a Taysom Hill kind of role.
I don't hate him.
Is that crazy?
No, I wouldn't. Crazy. I wouldn't hate him for that.
Rushed for 1,000 yards one season. Like we know he can run. I don't know why the Jets don't let him run, but he can run. Why can't he be a Taysom Hill kind of wildcat type of guy that you can still, have use for, play him, but he's not necessarily the guy you're going to use.
Don't hate it
to throw to someone and have them catch it.
Do not hate it. Good work. By the way, the football here is so bad in general that normally in most places it would make sports talk radio at least a mention that a player was shot and hospitalized over the weekend, and we haven't even mentioned it. But Kris Boyd, of course, of the Jets, was out at one of my favorite restaurants, Say Less, on Saturday night. And at 2:30 in the morning, or just after 2 a.m., there was a commotion out front.
It was a brawl, Peter.
Yeah, it's
it
the
was
video.
A brawl.
The video looks like an all-out brawl. It's fair enough.
It's nasty.
It's like 38th and Broadway.
38th and 7th.
And 7th?
Yeah.
And he was shot in the abdomen. He's now in critical but stable condition. When he was shot in the abdomen, the bullet lodged in his lung, according to sources. He's undergone multiple medical procedures, and he should be okay. He even had a small interview with detectives from the hospital, and they now have put out a picture of who they are looking for in this incident. So he's on a 1-year, $1.6 million deal to be with the Jets as a special teams and a player and defensive player as well, of course, corner. So, not a great story.
No, it's a terrible story.
But no, does anybody know yet what? And now, Don, I don't know if you've seen it. There's video of it now moving around.
Okay.
Of the actual fight. But, like, does anybody have any idea, Alan, of what happened? Like, was it random? Like, did he get into it with people? Were they just randomly attacked? Does anybody know?
I don't. I did not see any real details about what happened yet. I haven't seen the police report either. If they did talk to him, it would be in the report. But, sometimes you just get targeted.
Yeah, I wonder, listen, Say Less is a place where a lot of, athletes and celebrities go. So you never know, whether there's someone kind of lurking late at night to see who they see.
especially that late. Yeah.
Or you don't know if it was something that happened because there's a bar area at Say Less too. Maybe something happened in the bar and then it continues on outside. I don't know. I've never seen any drama there whatsoever, but I know when you're out at 2:30 in the morning in Manhattan in a place where a lot of cool people hang, sometimes bad things follow those moments.
Right. Yeah.
So we send Chris Boyd the best. Let's take a break, come back, and talk to you guys. 1-800-919-3776. Happy Monday. It's DHR.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same-day or next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. Messy ride on the BQE eastbound. First in Brooklyn, we still have a crash in the right lane by Atlantic Avenue. Jammed heading over to the Brooklyn Bridge. Delays go back onto the inbound Gowanus from the Belt Merge. After that, hitting the brakes again on the eastbound side in Queens. A broken down car in the left lane by Broadway. You're packed there from the Williamsburg Bridge. All of your purchase the outbound George pretty heavy aside from the Henry Hudson. Deegan southbound, an accident right after the Mosh Loop blocking 2 lanes involves a tractor trailer. Solid slowdowns on 87 in Yonkers from Empire City. Inbound George still looking good for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln already about 5 to 10. Outbound Holland 15 to 20. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Out here, pets are always by your side. Watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
.502 on this pretty blustery Monday. In the big city.
In the big city.
In the big city.
It is big.
It's
You tell me I try too hard.
Yeah, that was.
Come on. No.
You know what? I don't know.
Tell him, Peter. That's the way it works.
No, I mean, it depends. That was. It was right on the line, Don.
It was.
You're a filth bag. Yeah. It is 43 degrees, guys. Feels like 33 as of right now. It's blustery out there.
Yeah, it's blowing.
See, that's trying too hard.
You know what? I don't know.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, he's right. It's blowing out there.
Look at my hair. My hair was perfect when I left the house. Now it's a wreck, and I got to be on TV in an hour. It's all because of the damn wind in New York. So when you all see it and you go, "What the hell's wrong with him?" It looks like he just got out of bed. It's because of the wind. Leave me alone. Bad day. Bad hair
that's
day.
what I was thinking. When looking at your hair, which from my angle looks absolutely perfect.
Right.
It's weird you're saying all of this.
I know. It's almost like he wants people to tell him it's good.
Yeah. No. What?
This is a radio work.
Right?
Right. I'm on radio and I'm asking people to tell me my hair looks good.
Well, that's the weird part. That's what it's like. But he's still now. Also, Alan, we haven't discussed Don's look today. What do you think of Don Vader?
Yeah, the downlight is something because you can't see his eyes.
You gotta jump in the YouTube, ESPN New York on YouTube. You gotta check out Don's look.
The Ramaphosa sweatshirt, but definitely the downlight.
Darkness.
I wanted
has
to
him
wear,
look. No, he looks like Count Dooku.
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
I'm losing lights here in my man cave, and I wanted to be comfortable because I got a flight to Tampa tonight. So I wanted something that is comfortable on the plane but looks okay, and I'm proud of Rampo College.
Of course you are. They're proud of you.
And it's not going to be too uncomfortable once it's 80 degrees when I get off the plane. So I wanted to find something.
No, you're good. I already know what I'm getting you for Christmas, so I can't wait. But you right now, because we played the Star Wars music, Anthony, please confirm. He looks like Count Dooku.
Yes, that is a very excellent description of what.
Thank you.
Don't underestimate the Force.
I know Puck Doku, but I don't know who
Just
you're
take
talking
my
about.
word for it.
Right.
You're pulling it off today.
Your powers are weak, old man.
He was a Sith Lord.
God, I got to tell you,
So you're saying I look like Slith?
Whenever I don't understand what Don just said.
Don looks like Sith.
Slith.
Sith
I don't know.
today.
I really don't know. Listen, my Star Wars is the big three in the 70s.
Me too. Me too. Now listen.
All right.
The nice thing we have, Don, is that whenever we think this is what you have to remember at Alan, when I talk about what a lunatic he is that
You've been on this from the beginning.
Yeah, I've known. It took me a little time, but it was like 3 days of work, and I'm like, oh, he's a psycho. This whole time I thought he was perfect. No, he's a psycho. This is how you know. Because you look like Alan Hahn, you work in basketball, you're on television, everything's there. You don't volunteer to basically be a professional virgin. And that's what it is to be obsessed with Star Wars. So, the fact
that's ridiculous.
The fact that he is that hardcore nerd about something.
Ridiculous. Yeah, you guys have no idea.
It's what
you
makes
have
him
no
interesting.
Idea what's on that side of things. You'd be amazed at how many women love Star Wars.
Well, no, listen, Alan, you don't have
What's up, boo?
You don't have to convince us that you've done well in your life. We know. It's not about the Star Wars. You can't tell us that's helping you. It can't be.
Well,
no, it doesn't help.
No, you've got to be hiding. In fact, I bet you're hiding it until they're close enough.
He does so well. This is like the donut on a bat in the on deck circle.
It's extra weight just to feel loose when he takes it off.
The Star Wars stuff is just to make it a challenge.
It's like, I throw that out at the very end, by the way, and I just start quoting Han Solo to see if they'll run.
When you this is
that's when you know they're a keeper when they stay.
This is too easy. I'm gonna
give me the donut. Give me three. I'm gonna put 3 donuts on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a little wrinkle in here just to.
I told you guys, man. I am that building with the scaffolding around it, and you just keep wondering, they're still working on that thing.
Yeah,
that's me.
I mean, you're fully in on the Star Wars, right? Like hardcore.
Yeah, it's the first movie I ever saw in a movie theater.
But you're all the way caught up. You went through all of them.
Absolutely,
multiple
times.
Do you have any sort what's your merch? Do you have any merch?
No.
All right, you stop.
No, I don't do that. I'm not big like that. I don't go that crazy.
Well, remember Frank Sinatra made the bet that he could turn any song into a hit, and he won by making Old MacDonald a hit. Alan would walk into the clubs dressed as a stormtrooper just to show everybody I could still get it done.
Yeah, look at me.
I bet you I can walk in there as a stormtrooper
and leave with my own Princess Leia.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. I could walk in as Jar Jar Binks and still take somebody home.
Don't know if I would ever do that. That's a career ender.
And by the way, you can't, Don. If you bring up Jar Jar Binks to a true Star Wars person like Alan,
they throw up in their mouth.
They're offended.
They're offended. That's why I went there. I was just trying to say,
what's the equivalent of Jar Jar Binks?
You're thinking of
what?
What? No, I got it. Jar Jar Binks. Didn't they edit him out of that film because it tested so poorly?
Wait, did they remove Jar Jar Binks?
No.
I think they
left him
isn't
in
there.
there.
Which was it 20 or whatever one was 20 years ago? The Jar Jar Binks, wasn't there an issue with him?
Yes, there was an issue.
People were disgusted with him.
Yeah,
he was a lot of things that were an issue about Jar Jar Binks.
He was Me Too.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks was a sexual harasser, and they took him out of the film. They removed Jar Jar.
That's
Jabba the Hutt would be something, Hahn.
Listen, I respect Jabba.
Go ahead.
How do you not?
You mean because he had Princess Leia chained to him?
He was a slob, yet he dominated. So he didn't care. His look had nothing. It didn't matter. He dominated.
It's a great point.
He was the Don. He got what he wanted.
And then there was Pizza the Hut in Spaceballs.
Not similar, based on it. Let's hear. You guys want to hear from interim head coach Mike Kafka?
Sure.
Do we have to? Yes.
Wow.
Come on.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it like that. I did, but I didn't.
How did you mean?
All right, let's hear what he sounds like, because we heard from a listener earlier. Loved the way he looked on the sideline, which, by the way, sounds silly, but I get it considering the common thought now is that Daboll looked like a complete goofball on the sideline. So it's a small thing, but for whatever reason, and we talked about this some last week, guys, Daboll seemed to show over and over again that there was something about the way he carried himself that was just not head coach-like. So I think people just liked seeing Kafka at least not show those things. He didn't kiss anyone after the game ended. Here's Kafka on any potential staff changes.
I would say status quo. I don't anticipate any. As a matter of fact, we're going to go and attack this week. I'm excited for this week of prep. The coaches are excited about it. We just watched the tape with some good, fresh ideas. So, this will be a couple of good work days here. And we'll get the players in tomorrow. We'll set that plan in motion.
And this is the Giants recap, of course, driven by Ramsey Mazda. Mm-hmm. Kafka was asked about how he would balance Dart's tendency for aggressive play while also trying to keep him healthy.
Jackson going through the whole draft process with him and understand what kind of player he is. He's an aggressive player, and that's what we love about him. But obviously, you want to show him some examples that he can learn from. I think he's going through that now. I think he'll continue to grow from those things. But at the end of the day, he is a competitor, and that's why we love this guy. And I think he'll continue to learn and grow. But you don't want to put a player like that in a box. Obviously, you want to give him some show him the examples that he can improve on, and I think he'll take that to the bank.
Go ahead, Don.
I was going to say, it's everything's going to sound better and look better than Daboll, right? I mean, everybody was done with him, so
it's true.
I don't want to over-exaggerate everything, but you just have a better feel.
No, literally the sound of Kafka's voice sounds refreshing because I was so sick of hearing Daboll. I was so over the nonsense. And listen, I don't want to make Daboll out to be the worst that we've had in this market because he's nowhere near. He's not a top fiver. But I was over it by the end, and there are just a couple of things this year that we've talked about today that stood out with Daboll, and some of them were really glaring yesterday. And the biggest example to me being seeing how much better that offense was with Jameis Winston than Russell Wilson. And it just made me think, how stubborn was this guy? It seems like, guys, Don, sort of like, the times when we felt like he really wasn't fair to Daniel Jones, keeping him in games when he absolutely should have brought him out, but he was always trying to sort of teach him a lesson. Daboll just seemed to be a guy who was very stuck in his ways, and at least at his time in New York, I can't speak for Buffalo, but his time in New York, Don, those ways didn't bring anything great.
But there's got to be a reason why Winston was third on the depth chart and why he was not given a chance to back up. It was like there was no option.
Yep.
And then immediately after Daboll's gone, they had no problem putting Winston back in. Now, it was an easy decision. Wilson didn't look good when he came in for Dart. Dart's in concussion protocol, so I don't want to make Kafka out to be a hero or anything, but it did seem interesting. And again, he didn't set the world on fire, but he was efficient, and it makes you start to think that if he had backed up Dart, maybe Denver doesn't happen. Maybe the game last week in Chicago doesn't happen. Maybe Winston might have make something happen late where they could have held on to the lead because he just looked like a competent quarterback. And the other thing, too, guys, he looked like a guy that wanted to play. And I'm not talking about the singing in the press conference and all that. That's all, kind of performative by him. But you could see he was engaged. He wanted to play. He was looking forward to that opportunity where Russell Wilson looked like he wanted to be anywhere else in the world but on the field when he came in there, especially in relief. It was different when he was starting. But then after that Dallas fiasco in overtime, it all just seemed to go downhill. And yet Winston wasn't even a thought. Why? Was he not on board with the Winston signing to begin with? Did he get under his skin? Although, for whatever it's worth, Winston had nothing but praise for Daboll and said Daboll was the reason why he was there in the first place. Right. So I don't – there's got to be something that would make all this make sense.
See, and I never like looking back. Like, to me, it's like what's done is done, right? So it's over. That guy's gone. But this all, though, continues to make me focus on what's next. and what you need and why you want all this BS to never come back again. Like all the stuff. Like, why wouldn't you have played? Like, the common sense stuff. The decisions that you make that you just go, well, that makes sense, right? Like, that makes sense. Do that. When a player isn't, whenever you see a player playing and he shouldn't be playing, you know it's not a sport. It's not a football decision. There's some other decision that's also impacting. I hate that. I never, ever want to see that. You play your best players. You make your decisions not based on contract, not based performance, and that's it. It's a meritocracy. But it doesn't always work that way in sports. We know that. And some coaches don't operate that way, and that's annoying. But if you're the Giants, after all these coaches that you've run in and out of this place, and all of them never seem to have the sack to stand at the podium and make decisions that are based on football and what's best for the team. Tom Coughlin, the last guy that did it.
Yeah.
And he got sent out because he couldn't. He wasn't allowed to do it with certain players, including Odell Beckham Jr., that he was told to start. Like to me, that's all I care about. Who is the next coach going to be, and what can we learn about this latest fiasco that tells you you can't keep hiring the same type of people? That's all I care about. I brought up Gruden before for a reason, because everybody loves that part of Gruden, which is the character of him that looks like the tough, no-nonsense coach that's going to stare down the media and sneer at players and because he's supposed to be an offensive genius. And I'm telling you, that's a character. That's not really who he is.
Now,
but they got to find somebody who can be.
Now, the thing is that Kafka's gotten interviews for head coaching positions. Now, that could be explained away by the Rooney Rule because he's part Puerto Rican, and maybe that's why he was getting those interviews. Or because he came from the Kansas City tree, and everybody loves those guys. Although Eric Bieniemy never got anything. Maybe it's also because there's never been anything about Kafka that really moved me. Like, anything that he's done. I mean, it's not like the Giants' offense has been overly explosive in the time that he's been here. But maybe there's another reason, Guy. Maybe they just feel like he will make a good head coach because he has the demeanor. He has the qualities that make for a good head coach. We get so caught up in the X's and O's, and rightly so, more so than in any other sport. Is he a quarterback whisperer? Does he do well on offense? What's his bailiwick? What makes him a great coach? And then we find all the other things that end up being your downfall. The demeanor, the handling of the media, the handling of the players, the adjustments at halftime, all the things that a head coach has to do. Is it possible, maybe I'm reaching here, but is it possible that the reason Kafka gets interviews is because there's something about him where they believe that he could actually make for a good head coach? That's got to be the hope, right? If he's going to get a real chance at this.
But what's the evidence? He's never been a head coach.
But maybe there's something that other people have seen that say he's got the demeanor to be a head coach. Because I could tell you,
is he that impressive in the interview?
Maybe, because I look at Daboll, right, and obviously he got this opportunity because of how well things went in Buffalo. But you could see he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the players. He couldn't handle the media. He just didn't look the part. He didn't act the part. But we overlooked all that because the football, the offense, the quarterback play of Josh Allen was so good, we overlooked it. Could it be the opposite with Kafka? There's nothing football-wise that will blow you away, but, boy, he's got the right demeanor, the way he deals with players. It can't just be the Puerto Rican angle why he always seems to get interviews. So is there something to it? Is it really just strictly the Rooney Rule, and that's the only reason he keeps coming up? Or is there something else that makes you think he could be good? And the Giants, I really think, are greasing the skids to give him the best possible chance to get this job.
I agree.
Why? Is it the continuity? Or are there people around the league that feel like there might be something there with him? We'll see.
I think it's the continuity thing. I think that's important right now with the franchise because they don't want to keep going through transition because you want to keep it. Like, look, again, as we said when Daboll was fired, when you looked at the record and you looked at the 4 games they lost that they should have won, 3 of them that they had in their hand in the fourth quarter, double-digit leads, that's when you said, you know what, the roster is not that bad. This thing is heading in the right direction. The problem is the guy at the top was too erratic and too emotional. Couldn't handle a defensive coordinator who was very good. Ran into a tent. verbally abused a quarterback that we had that actually is now playing somewhere else and playing at an MVP level. Like, that was the issue. The issue wasn't the roster wasn't good enough. The issue was the leader at the very top wasn't good enough. So can you find a leader that's good enough and be competitive? And maybe that's the easiest thing to do so that there's no again, hiring a new coach means that coach, especially an experienced one, might say, I want my own GM. And that upsets the entire franchise. It flips everything over, and you feel like you're starting over again and trying to rebuild. And now it's my players instead of the former guy's players. It's a lot to go through when you do it that dramatically. So Kafka feels like, Don, I don't want to say the easy route, but it just feels like the more simple way to go, with the hope that with a coach who's just making decisions based on football, you could have won those games you lost, and your record will look dramatically different today than it did.
Way different.
Yeah, and we can't, I think, underemphasize the importance at this point with everything John Mara's dealing with in just keeping things simple. Yep. If there's a world in which they can keep things simple, keep Joe Schoen, keep Kafka, and keep moving forward in that direction, and people are like somewhat good with that, I think they'll lean that way given the moment. Okay. But guys, real quick, I want to tell you something about Amazon Pickup. All right, it's the ultimate convenience play. And we all know Amazon's already a part of your everyday life, but Amazon Pickup takes it to the next level. If you're time pressed and you're always on the go like I am, you can choose to send your orders straight to a secure pickup location that works for you. Amazon lockers and counters are located right near you no matter where you're at, no matter where your day takes you. So your package is ready when you are, right? Life never slows down, so instead of worrying about timing or schedules, your package is waiting right there. For me, with a baby at home, running around to 19 jobs, I'm constantly on the move. Amazon Pickup gives me the flexibility to grab what I need between shows, errands, my commute, all that stuff. It's simple. You order online, and at checkout, just choose the pickup location that's most convenient. You get an email confirmation when it's ready with instructions to pick it up. It's quick, secure, and always at no extra cost. Check it out for yourself. Go to Amazon.com/pickupmvp to learn more. That's Amazon.com/pickupmvp. All right, guys, let's take a break. Let's towel off for a moment, shall we?
Sure, why not?
But before I towel off, I need to tell you that was the Giants recap driven by Ramsey Mazda. Yeah, it
sure
was. It's the experience of driving a new Mazda and buying a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. We got Tessa on hold. We got Drake. We got Kris. 1-800-919-3776. We'll talk to more of you next right here on Hahn Rosenberg.
This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
If it was actually a possibility of taking the job, that Mike Tomlin is going to be sitting here and be okay with Joe Schoen being the GM. Mike Tomlin will always get the most out of his roster every single damn year.
I just can't see Mike Tomlin coming over here saying, I'm going to listen to Joe Schoen.
No! So why would you make any coach come over here and do that?
Bart Scott, Kris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At the 5-yard line, handoff Breece Hall, finds a crease, runs left, he's into the end zone for a Jet touchdown. Jets fans, clear the runway and be at MetLife Stadium for Week 13 as your New York Jets take on the Atlanta Falcons, Sunday, November 30th at 1 p.m., presented by New Jersey Lottery. Join us as we celebrate First Responders Day. Don't miss your chance to be at the game. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We're going to start off in Jersey, a big concert tonight over at the Rock in Newark. If you're using 280 eastbound, everything's shut down right before 21 and the Stickle Drawbridge. Police department activity. Traffic is stopped from before the Garden State Parkway in East Orange. Inbound George still looking pretty good for both the upper and lower decks. Worst of it's the outbound side, the Deegan. Southbound still have a crash involving a tractor trailer in the right lane right after the Mosholu. Delays go back onto 87 in Yonkers. Northbound, a new hit by Fordham Road. Only the left lane is squeezing by. Not moving much there from the Triborough and the Bruckner. Outbound Lincoln are running about 10 to 15. Outbound Holland 20 to 30. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Who is this?
Oh, yeah, that's John Cena again, folks. We're celebrating his whole catalog. I mean, listen, I got to tell you, that wasn't one of my favorite choices, what you just chose, but I went through his album today, You Can't See Me, which came out in 2005. And I'll just say, it's better than it had any business being. Like, there's a handful of songs on it that are actually pretty good. And now tonight, he will step in MSG for the last time. And it's his last ever Raw, period. Because he has Survivor Series, and then it all closes out December 13th in Washington, D.C. at Saturday Night's Main Event. But this is John Cena's last Raw. Guys, this is what basically brought me back into wrestling 20 years ago. Was me seeing John Cena and hearing his music and going, oh, who's that guy? I can maybe check out this wrestling thing again. I used to love this as a kid. And my life changed as a result. Look at me. Now tomorrow I got to hustle out of here early.
What?
So I can go do commentary for NXT because we have a couple of my guys and gals from Evolve who have matches and they're putting me in the booth.
Nice.
In the booth.
Which I'm very excited about. I mean, listen, I love doing Evolve every week and it's great. And I think the show is tremendous and it's certainly worth a watch. But obviously it's different taping for Tubi versus going live on the CW tomorrow on NXT.
Look at you dropping. Speaking of, though, so you'll be in the Garden tonight, right?
Yeah, and tomorrow.
And tomorrow. What about, just give us a little flavor about Saturday night, because you had the suite, you were hosting, right, the whole thing?
Sure I was.
How'd that go down? How was the winner?
The winner was great.
So this was UFC at the Garden.
Oh, yeah. We had the contest.
Big contest, right?
And I got to tell you, listen, every contest is different in radio. Some are better than others. When you see a contest, one of these ones where it's like, go to a game with Peter Rosenberg or Dave Rothenberg, whoever it is, I got to tell you, it's a great win. And like the winners were super excited. Hardcore listeners. The gentleman's name, who I'm forgetting his actual name right now because I'm a terrible guy.
Painful.
Tim? Steve.
It's any name. Because really, there's a gargantuan gap between Tim and Steve.
Stand by.
Tim and Terry, Steve and Scott. Different story.
Hang on.
All right, I got it. It was Jerry.
Oh, you legitimately
did you
did
really
not know.
Just say it was Jerry
Yeah.
after saying Tim and Steve?
It was Jerry. It was my guy
Richard and Jerry.
No, but Jerry was the listener
Okay.
And by the way, when I was saying those other names, Jerry was in my mind, but like I was like, am I just confusing with my friend who I called Jerry? No, it was Jerry. Okay. Great guy, UPS driver, listens every day. When I tell you P1, I'll say this. When I went to go grab some peanut M&Ms, he goes, I bet they aren't as good as Steve Hart's nuts.
Oh, he's that dialed
I'll be honest,
in.
the one thing I miss about having an office is the taste of Steve Hart's nuts. And so a hardcore listener of the show, like, and great guy, and his buddy, lovely guy as well. We hung out, we kicked it. Now, he also brought me, Don, do you remember when I had the Allen and Ginter baseball card? He brought 2 copies of the Peter Rosenberg baseball card for me to sign.
All right. Did you get the 2? Did you give one to you or no?
No. Give one to me. Of myself? That would be an odd choice. Hey, here's your own baseball card?
Yeah.
It would be strange. Maybe autograph it for myself as well?
No, but just to give you a copy. I had that happen to me.
No, I have a nice stash of the cards. Although
Okay.
the one that he had was one of the ones that has like a relic in it, like a piece of my the shirt that it's actually a Redskins jersey. Anyways, I had a revelation in that moment about you guys.
Okay.
You, in my opinion, Don, have spent years, in my opinion, incorrectly attacking me because on a 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, a midday hit with Don Lemon or whoever it was on CNN, I wore a random jacket and a backwards hat. You always have killed me for that. Like, what an idiot. Why would you wear that? You look like a hack. Meanwhile, I have an Allen and Ginter baseball card, which is pretty cool. Like, it's a classic Topps baseball card with me on it and my bio on the back, and it's limited edition. It's very cool. And I'm wearing a winter hat in the picture. Like a red Scully. Why would I be wearing a winter hat in my baseball card?
I don't know.
Because you're that guy.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
I just think it's just simple.
I mean, that's way worse to me than wearing a hat for a random hit no one was watching on CNN. Who wears a winter hat on a baseball card? It's a terrible choice.
I know. You.
Well, save it for Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be that guy Thursday.
All right, let's talk to a few people real quick, and then Alan, we got to talk some Knicks because there's
injuries all of a sudden. Not great.
Yeah, there's some trouble and some things to talk about. Let's go to Kris first. Kris, what's going on?
Hey guys, Don. It was a little earlier in the show. You talked about how you wanted the Giants to win yesterday, and of course I get that. And your thing has always been you want to see the team moving in the right direction instead of tanking. But in this scenario, it actually makes literally no sense to try and win when you know that they're going to, or root to win, when you know they're most likely going to have a new coach, a new voice, a new culture. And these culture wins that we have had in the past, they haven't done anything. How did those Tommy DeVito wins really help us? They actually ruined us because we could have got Drake Maye. We could have had Jaden Daniels, 2 top QBs. I know we have Jackson Dart, but he's not nearly as good as those 2, I would say.
We don't know.
And
we don't know that. We don't know how it's all going to turn out. But Kafka, so you don't think Kafka can be a good head coach?
I mean, do you? If you had to put a chance on it, what would? I know you said we were talking about it earlier.
Chances aren't great, but I don't know what else is out there. And you heard Carl Banks say they're going to give him a legitimate look. If they win games, it shows you they were right to fire Daboll, and that maybe a new voice will help, that it isn't just about a lack of talent, which is another thing they're going to have to come to crossroads with, because Joe Shane is still here. He's going to have a hand in picking the next head coach. And just all this losing, what does it end up being? They've already got their quarterback. And you've got to change it. So you may not buy into winning, changing the culture, and maybe there will be new people coming in here. But if Kafka can actually get this team to play well, how do I know he's not the next great head coach? We don't know. We're grasping at straws. Is Mike McCarthy the guy? Is John Harbaugh going to become available? Is Tomlin going to become available? All these assistants we've never heard of, are they going to be great? Just win, man. Show that you can function as an organization. Prove to people that you have talent. Make it an attractive place to come and play.
I would agree.
All these losses over and over again, Peter, for a draft pick, you have no idea what it's going to be.
I would tend to agree with the caller more if, like, I absolutely thought Kafka was a complete hack. Like, there was no chance.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes him any less likely to turn out to be one of those guys than someone else? So, like, there are certain coordinators. If they had a 70-year-old coordinator who has been around the league, they were a failed they were a coordinator who'd failed as a head coach. One of those guys. I understand when you go, we're not going that direction. But this guy could be that guy. Maybe he flourishes in this position.
But, he mentioned Drake Maye. Right now, Drake Maye looks like he's phenomenal, and he's going to have the Patriots maybe competing for a Super Bowl championship. Maybe. We'll see. Because we thought the same thing of Stroud a couple of years ago, and now look how that went. So let's see how it all pans out at the end. Isn't it possible, guys, I'm not saying it's likely, isn't it possible that Jackson Dart might end up being the better quarterback? And if that's the case, well, then tanking and losing that game with DeVito against Green Bay would have gotten you Drake Maye, but would that necessarily have worked? Or would Drake Maye have failed here the way other quarterbacks have failed? All I'm saying is it's a mystery no matter what. Can I just sit there and enjoy my team trying to win a friggin' game, for God's sakes?
But I'm trying to figure out what's the goal of losing for a better draft pick.
It'll make for a better draft pick.
For what, though?
Right, where are they going with that pick?
But his point is they're probably going to blow the thing up anyway, so why do I want to win a game that might cost me what might be the next great player? And we're going to look back at it.
Of what?
I don't know, because
that's
remember,
the problem. Your needs right now are not like you don't get those needs in the top 5. You're not taking a cornerback in the top 5. You're not taking a safety in the top 5. A wide receiver, rarely are they in the top 5.
And I don't think anybody.
You don't want a quarterback. Trading. You don't need an edge rusher.
Right. And if
you don't need an offensive. Do you need a tackle? I don't think you do.
That offensive line played phenomenal yesterday. So I mean, listen. I understand the logic of trying to give yourself the best options in the draft, but it's such a crapshoot to begin with. And I'm telling you, I don't have any evidence other than talking to players and former players. I'm telling you, losing just corrodes an organization. Just to lose every single week for this draft pick that you hope is going to be good. And that draft pick didn't work out. Oh, we'll tank again and lose and lose and lose.
Not for the Giants, no. Not for the
Giants.
Giants.
Why do you think you have a 3rd overall pick falling asleep in meetings and showing up late? Because the atmosphere there is toxic. Why is it toxic? Because all they do over the last 3 years is lose games. These guys are killing themselves in this sport more than any other, where you literally go out on the field never knowing if you're going to ever step on the field again, just to lose every single day. I'm telling you, it just causes too much trouble.
And that's something too when you have pieces, especially young players, that you're building forward with. That's the last thing you want them to feel. You're saying it as a fan. Jackson Dart is disgusted with you as a fan because he hates losing.
Yeah.
So that's not something that you're ever going to have players do. And an interim coach, he's also not going to do it either. But if you were the Jets and you were desperate for a quarterback and getting at worst a top 3 pick was critical so that even if it's not going to be Mendoza, which I don't think it would be, I still think they're trading the pick, by the way. I don't think they're going to make that pick. I think they're using it to get a veteran quarterback. I think they're trying to wait and see if somebody shakes out. I think that's their first priority if Darren Muji, was ever given truth serum in a microphone. But I just feel the Jets do have to worry about don't win too much and all that stuff. Aaron Glenn's got to prove that he can actually coach winning. The Giants, no. No, I don't think for the Giants losing is beneficial for them when it comes to the draft. What's beneficial for them is their young players to get better and continue to develop and adding the pieces that you desperately need. I personally don't think you need another rookie wide receiver, by the way. I think you need a vet. Neighbors is young. You need a vet on the other side. You got to balance it out with some experience. They don't have that. You need one of those types of guys, not another rookie. Again, another rookie corner. These are things you got to think about. Look at your team right now. It's a very young roster. It's lazy thinking to always fall back to saying that losing and tanking for a high draft pick is better for a franchise. What are you trying to get? Edge rushers, quarterbacks, that's what's at the top of these drafts. And tackles. That's what's always at the top of these drafts. You don't need any of those 3 things.
And I just think that these things don't happen in a vacuum. You lose because you're not good. And
Well,
you
yeah.
want to know that you've got good players on this roster
Right.
that, if coached properly, they can get you into the playoffs and can make a run. But if you end up losing out and go 2-15, well, then you got to figure Shane's going to be out
It's
the door,
such a
and
good
you're going to have to reconstruct an entire. And that means you're going to Drake Maye, or I love my quarterback, I love Jackson Dart, but you're going to root for him to look bad and throw picks.
And there's no world in which this season could end with them playing a lot harder and a lot more disciplined and being a better team that makes you go, maybe we have a guy in Kafka, and maybe we get our quarterback next year, we get Shedeur back, and we're not really restarting next year.
Yeah.
Maybe we're actually on the path to something. I mean, I know there are people like Anthony who are sickened by every single aspect of this team, but I think
it should be.
But I understand. But now with the new head coach, whoever that turns out to be, they do have pieces on this team, and culture can change. I mean, the Giants are not the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
It's not a completely poisoned culture. They can get good quick.
And they have to. And to me, again, if you're a fan, that's what you're looking for. Is that Abdul Carter story? That's a bad story. He's not a bad guy, but that's a young player that felt like I can get away with this, and apparently has before. And that's something to me as if, like, I don't want my team like this. I don't want a young player to develop bad habits early on. A guy's got a ton of talent, but really hasn't been able to show it on the field. Like, you don't want that. The improvements you're looking for are not your draft pick value. Right now, the improvements you're looking for are the cult, like what you guys are talking about, the culture and all this stuff that most fans can't relate to. But that's a real thing. You're not winning a damn thing. With all the talented players in the world, you're not winning a damn thing if your culture's bad.
It's a tired argument that started years ago with Michael and Peter jumping on me
about
when Daniel Jones threw 5 touchdown passes against the then Redskins and won the game in overtime, and it cost them Chase Young. And the very next year it was, why were you celebrating that win? It meant nothing. It cost you Chase Young. Where's Chase Young now?
Exactly.
Now where's Daniel Jones now? Right? So I see both sides of it, but in the moment, man, have we gotten so spoiled by all these games we just throw them away for picks? Ask the Sixers how the process is going, all right?
Yeah.
Waiting all these years, hoping the Jets, all these top picks. Remember, I can't believe they beat the Rams. They could have had Trevor Lawrence. What's Trevor Lawrence? He was supposed to be a transcendent talent that walked on water. Right? Has he done anything, really? The Jets would have ruined him like they ruined every other quarterback they've had. Let's win the damn game, for God's sake.
Such a great point you're making, though. It really is.
No, you can pretty much bet and be sure that if he'd went to the Jets, he'd be a dud. Now, speaking of betting, the FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets.
I like what you did there.
From yards to touchdowns to who's going to win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Peter to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and over, physically present in New York, opt-in required, bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Let me ask you a question, guys. Okay?
Yes, please.
I'm going to give you the top 7 passes completed in the NFL right now. You stop me. I'm going to give you the top 10. Stop me when I get to the guy who was the number 1 pick in the draft. Ready?
Okay.
Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, Patrick Mahomes, Drake Maye, Joe Flacco. Believe it or not, Joe Flacco. Isn't that amazing? Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that was insane, by the way.
Daniel Jones. Here's where it stops. Stafford, Goff, and Mayfield. You're talking about the last 3 of the 10.
Who are veterans.
Listen, the drop the mic moment is that Patrick Mahomes was taken 10th overall. That's the end of the argument. Done. Stop it.
Drake Maye was 3rd. Bo Nix was like an afterthought. Herbert was 6th.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts was the 2nd round. Stop it. The two quarterbacks
Prescott,
that played for the
4th.
Super Bowl last year and played before, 2 years ago in the Super Bowl, one was taken 10th, the other taken in the 2nd round.
Listen, Russell Wilson, I know he's not good anymore, but many good years of Kirk Cousins, a 4th-round pick.
Yeah,
like, you
don't-
just I'm with you.
Situation and system, fellas. That's what it is. But we get caught up in the number one pick thing because we don't. I'm telling you, if we ever did the math, quarterback number one overall, I gotta believe, Don, would you go 50-50 at best?
At best.
50%.
Meanwhile,
hit rate?
the caller doesn't even want a quarterback.
Yeah, I
so
know.
I'm going to tank for what? A safety?
For a safety. Because you don't need an edge. You got 3 edge rushers as it is. You got 2 tackles that are good.
Hey, I argue with caller. You know who's the biggest believer, and this is Rick. That's all DiPietro talks about is tanking. Loves it. Eats it up.
I mean, listen.
He hated it. Well, I tell you what, he's changed his tune because he used to hate it as a player.
Well, listen.
He hated that idea.
Well, listen, Rick watches a lot of television, a lot of sports TV, and let's be honest. The reason the draft is a big deal is because we run NFL Live 365 days a year. If ESPN and Fox Sports and everybody else doesn't have the draft to talk about, what are you doing in late February, early March? And this is a business, and the business of the NFL never stops. Like, baseball's going to quiet down now for a little bit after the winter meetings, thank God. And we'll all, Michael will be able to sleep on his stomach again. Everyone can relax for a moment.
Right.
Okay? But with football, it never stops. And the draft is the way to sell people. Why do you think I literally get on the radio every year and say, if you are making a trip to a town to go to the draft, you are the biggest loser I've ever met in my life? But there are people there, they believe in it. I never understand how you could be excited about someone who's potentially good and potentially never takes a snap for your team. You never even know what's going to happen. It's wild to me. Anyways, your last chance to talk to us before ENN, then we'll have Last Call Crew at 6:30. But if you want to join us, next is your last time to get in, then ENN right here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
This is the Michael K. Show.
Great teams employ players that look out for other players. Why would this guy with a half sack being taken to the top of the first round think it's okay to be late to meetings? That some veteran guy on the defensive side doesn't take Abdul Carter aside and say, dude, well, what are you doing? But that's hard to do on a team that just lost its coach, that's 2-9, that has lost heartbreaking games.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a Pepper thing.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Some people
Just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Now open at the North Village Shopping Center next to Trader Joe's.
Drink responsibly, B21.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-5 2.5S all-wheel drive for $229 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN number S0754711, MSRP $31,070, zero security deposit, ends 12/1/25.
Don gives good VIN.
No,
you do.
Like to think so.
Oh yeah, some of the best VIN I've ever seen.
Right.
All right. Speaking of VIN, let's go to Tessa in West Caldwell. Hey, Tessa.
Tessa.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. Very calm now because I'm just so numb to, all this bumness and trashness. But I just was kind of freaking out when you guys were talking about Mike Kafka because he was not just around the toxic environment. He was a part of it. He was allowing this vanilla trash bum offense to go on the field. So that's why, no, I don't want him because all he will do is listen. I don't care about transitioning. I'm tired of being tested with my loyalty every week. I'm never going anywhere, but I'm tired. I don't care about, we got to start all over. No, start all over. That's the thing. We acting so scared all the time to do something new, do something fresh. What we're doing now is not working. Our whole environment's polluted. It's like our whole pool has pee in it. Or whatever like that. We got to drain the whole pool and put fresh water in it. So at the end of the day, I don't want Kafka. He was part of this toxic environment. He was putting trash on the field.
You're right.
You got.
He's part of it, but your head coach was an offensive guy. So it is possible they might have butted heads, and Daboll won.
That's
on
what
a
I
lot
was
of
going
the
to say.
decisions, right? So I understand you want to get rid of everybody because it's all been toxic, it's all losing. But is it possible that Kafka maybe had ideas of making the offense better because Daboll was an offensive guy? He ended up winning those faceoffs. It is possible.
That's what I think. My disagreement with Tessa there is you can't be sure Kafka was in any way complicit in the vanilla offense. He might have not. As we can tell, Daboll was going for it. Whatever he thought was going to keep him alive, he was going for. I said that right after that first Dart win, when he nearly tackled him and committed a felony on his leg after the game, you could tell how happy he was. He was desperate for any win they could get. There's a chance Daboll was saying, I got this. Chill out.
It works in reverse. Like, there's a lot of things surrounding Bieniemy in Kansas City and why he hasn't been given an opportunity as a head coach. But a lot of it was, why am I giving him any credit? Andy Reid's the offensive genius. So whenever your head coach is an offensive guy or a defensive guy, that coordinator never gets any credit, right? Because it's all because of the head coach. Now, Tessa might be 100% right, but I'm willing to give these now 6 games a shot to see what he can do. And I didn't hate what I saw on Sunday.
Okay.
Let's keep it moving and go to Jimmy in Connecticut. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Listen, I want to chime in on that tanking conversation. First of all, I'll lead with I'm totally with you, Don. Tanking is not – I do not agree with tanking. And another reason why I didn't hear mentioned was if you think about it, players themselves are never going to try to lose games because they're all on film. They're all trying to play for their next contract. So they are not going to buy into trying to lose.
Right.
What management may do is try to put a team on the field that can't win. But if management and players aren't seeing eye to eye, isn't that in a way the definition of dysfunction? Won't that just make the dysfunction continue?
Excellent point.
So I just think being relevant, just look, and if you look competitive in games, and free agency comes up, maybe some of them will say, okay, there's something going there. Maybe I will want to sign there. I just feel like tanking every year, and like you said, we don't even need anybody that's projected to be at the top of the draft right now. But tanking is just a sign of dysfunction and a disconnect between management and the team.
If it's the last game of the season and there's a huge quarterback available and you need a quarterback, I can understand you being upset that you won that game. Okay, I'm not stupid, but sitting here just hoping your team, the Jets or the Giants, just lose out for the better draft pick. I mean, what are we doing, man? And then you know what the sadists will do is watch the game. Like, if you just said, you know what, to lose every game, I'm not even about to turn it on. All right, that kind of makes sense to me, but they'll still be sitting there. And they'll be the first people to be on hold and complain and rip the players that screwed the game up that they lost.
Yeah.
Mike in Staten Island, what's up?
Hey guys, how are you? Pleasure to speak to you, and thanks for taking the call. I wanted to take a different approach on and kind of disagree with Don here. The reason I say tanking, especially this year, now the Giants have already established that they have their quarterback, which is excellent. We hope. Now, I'm looking at the standings, and I see Arizona and Vegas and New Orleans. And if the Giants are picking one, and there's teams that are picking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I've seen the history. Trey Lance, RG3, Peter, you could tell me about that. These teams gave up massive hauls to get that number one pick.
Yeah,
I don't know. You think they'll do that for Mendoza, Allen?
That's the thing. No. What the caller has the right idea in the wrong draft year. That's there's.
But I think he's saying that it's a failed plan.
No.
I mean,
what
he
he's
gave
pointing
examples
out,
that didn't work.
Well, he is doing that, but he's also pointing out the fact that there are players who don't come in with the hype of this is a generational talent, and yet the 49ers still gave up something to move up.
Yeah.
And that is true. The higher draft pick does yield, and this is what I say about the Jets. I don't think the Jets are making the pick, but I think the high pick might get them some value. The idea is the higher the value of the pick, the more you can do with it. And then you'll get back more picks, which helps you fill holes. So you might not want to make a pick in the top 3, but you could trade that pick for multiple picks to help you fill other spots
but here's the scary
on
thing.
your roster.
But here's the scary thing. We all know, Baker Mayfield proved this, the real moving comes after the season is over. All right? So what kind of pro day is he going to have? What kind of combine is he going to have? What if Mendoza completely slips up? What if he gets hurt? You know, Mel Kiper's been on saying that he thinks all the other quarterbacks might stay in school.
I know.
Right? So I don't know. I can't guarantee that somebody's going to give you like 3 first-round picks to move up to number 1.
And I don't think anybody's doing it for an edge rusher in this draft, right?
No.
Yeah.
So they'll be the one. This is not the draft to have this conversation, even though there are general managers that are out of their mind. This still is too weak a draft to really count on.
All right,
it doesn't feel like that kind of draft. You're
Before Don leaves us, Drake has been on hold in Poughkeepsie for a long time. Hey, Drake. Say, Drake.
Yeah, hey, guys. I wanted to talk about the hockey fight at the Garden last night, and I'm actually going to Detroit for a wrestling show on Friday, and I was wondering if I should wear my Rangers jersey to jump the barrier, you know?
Do it. Show me something.
Yeah. Drake,
but did you actually think that they were being disrespectful, the Red Wings, or was it a much ado about nothing?
Listen, this is coming from a guy that is a huge Jonathan Quick fan. I think he's fabulous. He's a great person. He was obviously frustrated with the loss. That shot came just as the buzzer happened. I don't get it. And none of his team thought anything of it. I think he was just frustrated by the loss. Even afterward, Alan, he was saying it was 2 seconds after. No, it wasn't. It was just as the horn sounded. He was wanting to take the shot. I just think it was frustration, so I'll give Quick the benefit of the doubt. I don't think Detroit did anything wrong there.
Yeah, and I thought J.T. Miller said it best when he said the bigger issue was the 60 minutes before that moment. That's when you should have showed a little more fight. They did not really something about them, I don't know what it is at home, but like that yeah, but I like that. I know, Don, it means nothing.
It does mean
but
nothing.
It can mean something.
Well, hopefully.
Because sometimes those
sometimes
those moments are unifiers, right? Sometimes they can be. It's like a baseball brawl where all of a sudden the team just gets a little momentum. Sometimes that can help.
Let's unify over ENN next.
Let's do it.
Don, have a fantastic call tonight or travel tonight, wherever the hell you're doing.
I love you both. I'm traveling to Tampa.
And then your game's tomorrow night?
That's right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Travel
safe. Travels, Donnie.
We'll see you tomorrow. ENN, Anthony Pusick steps in. Me and Hahn are here. ENN next, right here.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. Try to stay warm. We've got WWE Monday Night Raw over at MSG, and it's John Cena's last one. If you're going to drive into Midtown, definitely want to stick with the west side over the east side of town. FDR, some pockets of slowdowns in both directions, heading over to the 59th Street Bridge. Still your worst ride to the outbound George the Deegan. Northbound, a crash over by Fordham Road. Only one lane is squeezing by. Crawling there, heading over to the Cross Bronx, starting to back up across the Triborough into Queens and up onto the Bruckner. Southbound Deegan, still have this accident in the right lane right after the Mosholu. Been out there for over an hour. You're backed up onto 87 in Yonkers. Inbound George, Upper Deck will run you about 10 to 15 minutes. Outbound Lincoln, about a 10 to 15 minute ride. Outbound Holland will run you 15 to 20. Over in Jersey, 80 westbound in the locals by Hudson Street and Hackensack. Crash out there has you jammed from the Turnpike in Richfield Park. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Great. Welcome to ENN on this Monday evening.
You ever watch YouTube?
I'm very excited right now because after Anthony's big ENN, which is going to be huge, after that, last call crew, special edition if people want to get any calls on John Cena.
Yeah, your night's not over by any stretch of the imagination at 7 o'clock. No.
We got John Cena's last Raw tonight. You know, I don't normally get time for my reindeer games, but I feel like the city's actually a buzz about John Cena's last time at MSG. And Alan has Knicks business to attend to at 6:30.
Right. And I'm across the street. So
you want to come over again?
Well, I'm wondering, the Knick game will be over probably about 10:30.
He wants an invite.
Oh, no, you'll miss it. You would have to come during the game.
When is the Cena thing? What do you think?
I don't know. My guess would be he opens the show maybe 9 o'clock. Right when you think, Anthony? It's either top of the show or 9 o'clock. I don't think he closes the show.
Halftime's probably going to be around 8:30, like in 8:30-ish. So I don't think I'll be able to do it because I could sneak over at halftime. But
if I see the timing working out for you, I'll text you.
Yeah, shoot me a text. Let me know, and maybe I can run across the street and catch it.
But if you want to be down with the Last Call crew and you have anything to say about the Cena of it all, 1-800-919-3776. We'll talk to you after ENN. Anthony, get us started here.
Well, thank you, Peter. I'd like to say good evening to Alan.
No, he's still got a lot of tire left on that tread.
That's good.
It was an interesting.
Oh.
No, it was a thought. It was
happened.
a thing. It happened.
Yeah.
I heard it, and I thought, oh, that's interesting.
And then that was that. Yeah.
Gobbledygook.
Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase.
I ain't spit on nobody.
Well, you did. Now he's appealing his suspension, but he's suspended for a game. So we'll see if he does play this week.
I saw one video of it, couldn't see anything at all, and then I saw like another version of the same
sideline
video, but they were both sideline ones.
Okay.
And yet the second one I saw, I'm like, and then you know what I hate about the era we live in? I literally was like, wait, is the second one AI? Because the second one was like a goop. It was like a goop, a huge whatever, wad of spit.
Whatever you'd like to call it.
So, whatever.
A loogie?
Big loogie.
Yeah, that was very strange. Listen, you guys have convinced me. I am so optimistic about the Giants now after all the positivity that you spewed about Mike Kafka and how good that loss looked yesterday. I'm all in. I'm really excited.
No, you're all set is what you are.
Yeah, all set is more accurate.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys mentioned it. We talked about it. Shedeur Sanders did make his debut. Dylan Gabriel left the game in concussion protocol, out with a concussion. He will start. Shedeur Sanders will start next week. So after the loss, Shedeur was asked, how did you play in your first game?
I don't think I played good. I don't think I played good at all. I think it's a lot of things, we need to look at, during the week, go and just get comfortable, even throwing routes, with Jerry and throwing routes with all those guys. So I think that was my first ball to him all year. But other than that, I just think overall we just got to go next week and understand so then we have a week to prepare stuff I like to do.
Coach Kevin
he
Stefanski.
sounds just like Prime, doesn't he? Like,
yeah.
Just like him.
Yeah, old Prime. Like when I say old Prime, I don't mean
not
old
this
man
prime.
I mean back in the day Prime.
Younger Prime, old Prime.
Yes,
Got it.
young Prime.
Everybody's following. Kevin Stefanski, how did Shedeur handle things?
Listen, we trust all of our guys. We trust our guys to perform. He's no different. Playing a backup quarterback role, as we've talked about over the years, that's tough to come in there. But we trust him. I know there's things that he's going to want to do better, but that's why we work.
And apparently in this world that we live in, it's been reported by Pro Football Talk that Shedeur Sanders' house was broken into last night.
Amazing.
While he was playing in that game.
Amazing.
So quite the eventful Sunday for Shedeur Sanders. And now has a full week to prepare for his first NFL start. We know Allen will be watching.
I'm locked in.
Absolutely.
I'm invested. Future quarterback of the Jets.
You really think so, huh?
No, he wanted it, though. He dreamed of it.
I mean, how worse could it get?
We need to do? The Alan Hahn, the things Alan likes power rankings. He like Drake Maye.
Drake Maye is high.
Shedeur Sanders.
Also high. Matthew Schaefer, very high.
Huge.
Might be
Top
number
of the
one.
list. That's
yeah,
Baby
I was
Yoda.
gonna say.
Baby
Yoda.
That's Baby Yoda.
Now, is it
man.
Baby Yoda or is it Grogu? Which one is he?
The same. They're all the same.
Oh, okay, they're the
but
same.
people, when I say Grogu, that's when Peter is right that there's most of the people that listening they have no idea what I'm talking about.
No idea what Grogu is.
But if I say Baby Yoda, they're like, oh, I know Baby Yoda.
Everybody loves Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
I am Yoda.
And you are Yoda.
I'm going to think of other ones, by the way, because Alan.
When 900 years old,
when
you reach look as good. You will not.
When he gets on a thing,
I'm on it.
He's on it. Like the joke about me is that I always am talking Commanders at all times, but you know what it's going to be. With Allen, he has it's never that, but he has just a few different ones that he peppers in. And you're like, I get the hunch he likes this Drake Maye.
The more I think about it, though, the harder that Allen's dream of wanting Shedeur Sanders to be a Jet is going to be, because with Dylan Gabriel out in concussion protocol, assuming that when he's healthy again, he'll be back as the starter, not Shedeur Sanders. If he's not, that means Shedeur Sanders played well enough to make sure that Dylan Gabriel didn't play anymore. And then once you get to the end of the season, why the heck would the Browns get rid of the only quarterback that they were able to find, not named Joe Flacco, that could throw a football?
Well, listen, if he could get his completion percentage, up above 25%.
That would be good.
Get his average yards per play up above 2.9.
Listen. Yeah.
Cut down the picks. Get the QBR up above 3. Have a conversation.
Look, against all odds, third and 10 against all odds throws. That tweet's going around.
This is why we work, all right? It's a one-day-at-a-time situation here.
That's right.
The first step was to get the opportunity. Now that we have the opportunity, we're going to take advantage of it with a good week of work and a full start. You'll see.
You should send that script to Stefanski. I think he needs it for his press conferences.
That's right.
Before the Raiders even play tonight, we, of course, had the early lines on ESPN Bet. Vegas hosting Shedeur Sanders and the Browns next week. The spread is Vegas minus 3.5. With an over-under of 37.5. So a real barn burner shootout we have in store in Vegas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've got that. A lot of injuries around the NFL, guys. We've mentioned it on the teams locally, but and some key ones, too. Atlanta Falcons quarterback Michael Penix not expected to play again this season as a result of a knee injury he suffered during Sunday's loss to the Panthers, sources tell Adam Schefter. It believes that Penix has some damage to his ACL. That's a lot of leg and knee injuries for a young quarterback. Because remember, Penix came into the league pretty much hurt.
He came in with the history of it, yeah. He's not very young, too, by the way.
No. And knees were a problem for Atlanta wide receiver as well. Drake London diagnosed with a sprained PCL. He's expected to miss Sunday's game against the Saints. So,
is it the turf?
We actually have Raheem Morris talking about the Penix injury. Is there any concern?
There's always concern. Anytime you put anybody on IR, with all our guys, there's always a concern about that. Hurting for the young man, especially how well he's playing at the beginning of that football game. Really finding his groove. I like this week of preparation. I like the way he went through everything. I like how he was prepared at a very high level.
It's a lot of prep.
I like how he took a lot of ownership on it last week, and really was ready to have a bounce-back week. And it's just it's heartbreaking for him to go out and get hurt. And there's always a concern of any of those type of things at missing time.
Did someone actually ask him if he was concerned about a player going on the
that
injured
he just
list?
put on injured reserve in week 11? Yeah.
Are you concerned about the injury? I mean, is he on the injured list? Yeah. That'd be
You know what, Alan? It's your third great point of the day. Why?
Three.
Why would you ask someone if they're concerned about an injury late in the season that puts someone on the IR? Yeah, that's reason for concern.
Peter, again, the pit bull attack and all. Were you concerned about Bear?
Yeah. But it's like all of these questions would be very, very clear. You know what I mean?
I'm disappointed in us as a show, by the way.
Why?
We never got Don's top NFL team.
It never happened.
We kept saying we would. He kept saying he'd do it, and we never
avoided it. I think he avoided it because Don, when he wants to make a point, he clears his throat into the microphone 15 times till Don wants to make a point.
Now he's got a flight to think about it. So maybe Peter's texting him right now. So hey Don, who's your favorite NFL team?
Open with it tomorrow.
We'll open with it tomorrow. What else we got? We got the Knicks
also,
at least.
I'm not sure if one of his answers wasn't one of ours.
That's probably
and so
fair.
he wasn't that eager to get to it because it was going to be anticlimactic.
I would have liked to know. I'm sure the listeners.
I was curious too.
Concern for Peters, speaking of best team in the NFL, Philadelphia Eagles, right tackle Lane Johnson suffered a Liz Frank injury during the
what did she
win
do?
Over the Lions. I don't know what he did, but it was
what did Liz do?
Well, no, injured Lane Johnson, apparently. Not good. Not good.
Dirty, dirty, dirty woman.
Not expected to be season-ending, but could land him on injured reserve. I don't think anybody asked Nick Sirianni if he was concerned about this injury, but I would guess the answer would be yes.
Well, yeah, you're saying losing Lane Johnson at this point of the year is not what you want?
By the way,
Hot take.
The upstart Giants, the looking better Giants, didn't have to worry about Josh Jacobs for a lot of that game because he was out with a knee injury. Now he's week to week. Although no structural damage was shown on tests on Monday.
Helpful.
So
aren't we all week to week?
Day to day, week to week.
Day to day.
It's all happening.
Some of us on this show minute by minute.
And Peter knows about this all too well, and I believe that the Commanders did just pick up Jake Moody off of the practice squad of the Bears. So that'll be their new kicker.
Oh, great.
Niners will be looking for one too because veteran kicker Eddie Pinheiro has been very good this year. Suffered a grade 1 strain in his right kicking hamstring in Sunday's win against the Cardinals, and he's week to week and will likely miss some time. So a lot of injuries around the NFL. It's that time of year.
Yep.
Dan Quinn, update on Jaden Daniels?
Apart from him, I'll have a better update in terms of coming back from the bye. The rehab portion is going good of where he's at. But past that, I'll have a better update for you guys a week from today with he and Noah and Terry and some others that are on the way back.
So what that cut should have said was, somebody asked Dan Quinn to give an update on Jaden Daniels, and he said, I've got nothing for you. They are on bye.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really have to give much of an update. And then coming back from the bye, there's a chance that he's ready, but I don't even think Peter wants to see him play for the rest of the year.
I do not. Why would anyone want to see him? I mean,
you're firm on that. No Daniels rest of season. Just shut it down. I'm wondering how they are as an organization. Are they firm on that? If
a couple weeks from now, like if they gave him enough time where he really felt good, and Terry came back, and maybe Noah Brown came back also, and Laramie Tunsil's still healthy. He played this week. And you feel like he can be protected plus have weapons, then as you point out, Alan, it's not like as good as Jaden was last year, it's not like he's Patrick Mahomes. Playing games this year is valuable. So if he could have the weapons he's supposed to have and be protected, even if the season's lost, I might say play him because it's important to play. Right. But if they don't feel like they have all that, you don't want to put him out there with limited weapons. That doesn't make sense.
I did not realize that the Commanders have the longest losing streak in football.
5?
6.
They
were
now.
3-2. Now they're 3-8.
It's and they had multiple opportunities, like where the season still could have been alive technically. Like yesterday, if they win and they keep it at 7 losses, it's bad. But you go, hey, we went out, we're 10-7,
right?
But like then you lose to the Dolphins, and now it's 8 loss. Like it's over. There's nothing. There's nothing.
And you
to
know
do
what
here.
though? And here's again. Barnwell puts out these things every year at the start of a season, projecting the way the season's going to go and based off last year.
I know.
And you get so mad at him because you just say to yourself, wait a minute, they just had a great year. And every year it's like he ends up being right. It's like that it just seems to happen.
He said they take a step back, and it turned out to be more than a step back. It was like a step back with the worst injuries in the league.
With a separated elbow.
Yeah, with like and
Looked
everything.
worse than it was, apparently.
Well, yeah, it's funny. The Jaden thing has been not one. Thankfully, I guess I'd prefer this. He didn't have one brutal injury. He's just been beat up all year.
Fair.
I'm better than that than an LCL, an ACL, or some sort of CL smooth.
The CL's not good. Not good. The CL's
you don't want a CL. But
so Antonio Brown, we know that he's been in a little bit of trouble.
A little bit.
A prosecutor said Monday he could face up to 30 years in prison if convicted on attempted murder because a firearm was allegedly used in the incident where, via video at a brief arraignment, Brown showed up in Miami-Dade court. His lawyer, Mark Eargrash, that's horrible, repeated that Brown already pleaded not guilty. He was released from jail this week on a $25,000 bond and required to wear a GPS ankle monitor. That would be a sad end to the Antonio Brown saga. After he left the NFL.
I hope this is the worst it gets.
Yeah.
Because it could have been worse. He could have killed the person.
He could have.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's attempted murder, which, by the way, for anyone listening, you're not allowed to do that either.
No, can't do that.
That's not fortunate. It's just
that's not good.
That'll probably be the charge. I wonder if that'll be the charge with the guy who shot Chris Boyd. Maybe that's more like an attempted manslaughter or something. I don't know. Murder usually implies some sort of like premeditation.
Fire a gun at someone in an altercation, that sounds like
attempted murder, right?
Attempted murder.
Yeah, it may not be premeditated, so it may be second or third degree.
If he argues, defense, like thinking someone else had a gun too, and I just shot first, I don't know. But I also know he was in Manhattan, handgun.
Not good.
Yeah. Not what you want. No,
that's also going to get you in trouble.
I wish I can give you guys some uplifting stories, but there really just isn't a lot of them. Victor Wembanyama out for at least a few weeks due to left calf strain. ESPN's Shams Charania was told by sources on Monday. Not good for him. Some good news for James Franklin. If you're into that, he has found his new job. Virginia Tech and James Franklin are finalizing an agreement for him to become the school's next head coach, per ESPN's Pete Thamel. So you do have that. I do want to get Alan's thoughts on the Knicks before we get out of ENN here, but Alan, did you see this altercation between Draymond Green and a fan?
Yes.
On Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
The fan was about 6'6", 6'7". He was big.
6'7", you say?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's unfortunate.
So and what happened? Sorry to every parent in a car right now with a middle schooler in the back seat doing it. I apologize.
So Alan mentioned it. Draymond Green was chest-to-chest with 35-year-old Sam Green, a New Orleans Pelicans fan, on Sunday night. Game officials quickly stepped in between them and pulled Green away while ushers gathered around and spoke with the fan, who continued to look amused by the exchange, as one would, I guess. Sam Green said he was taunting Draymond Green with chants of Angel Reese because several of the Warriors stars' early rebounds resulted from short-range misses, starting with a Golden State possession in which Green missed 5 straight shots and rebounded the first 4. He kept calling me a woman, Green told reporters after the game, clarifying later that the fan was calling him a woman's name. That, I guess, being Angel Reese.
I don't know if that's what makes it offensive.
It was a good joke at first, but you can't keep calling me a woman. I got 4 kids, one on the way. You can't keep calling me a woman.
Yeah, Draymond took it a different way.
I don't think that's
the guy was making a basketball reference.
It literally has nothing.
Draymond Green took something the wrong way is really what we're getting at here.
Which never happened.
It never.
By the way,
it never
were
does.
So both last names were Green.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Green on green crime.
Green on green crime. The whole thing, though, was kind of comical. Draymond plays into it, and Draymond, of course, always has to get the last word because he talks to the media. And he said that, he was saying a lot, but then he got quiet when I walked up to him.
No, he didn't.
And yeah, I know.
The video looked at the guy actually really didn't get quiet.
No, and
he seemed pretty confident.
He wasn't little either. He was not a small
man.
Dude,
the guy's taller than Draymond.
Yes, that's what I said. And I bet you when he put his arms out, was probably him, because Draymond probably threatened him like, I'm going to shut you up. Like, okay, please do it right here. Please hit me.
That would have been...
Like, that's what he was looking for. Oh, yes, you definitely want to do this right now. Please.
Now,
listen.
listen.
Take a swing. I can take a punch, but you can't take what happens next.
Now, listen, I cannot commiserate with someone who, has enough money for front row seats and literally screams like a chant over and over and over. Like, you're a weirdo loser. Like, stop. Like, sit and be
You're
cool.
saying this isn't his first time trying to do this to somebody.
And just, in general, like, I get it. It was in New Orleans, not Crypto.com, so, the tickets weren't $10,000. They were probably $1,500. But they were
still a lot of money for
That's still a lot of money.
I don't even know if they were that much there.
Well,
they have a hard time putting people in the seats.
But either way, you paid your hard-earned money to be entertained. Yeah. He was with his girl. Have a good time, bro. You're a weirdo. But
he's a nozzle.
You are a nozzle.
That guy.
You're that guy.
Could be that guy.
But Draymond is always that guy.
Yeah.
And Draymond had a bad weekend. Because, let's be honest, guys, Victor Wembanyama's mainstream career started on Friday night when he jammed in Draymond's face.
Yeah, it's not good.
That was Alan, basketball people know how good Wemby is. I think, tell me if you agree, that cultural moment was the official Wemby's here moment.
Well, that was because, the Draymond is he's notorious for when he picks on you, it's usually young players, skinny players, and white guys. And most of them don't ever really have a way to retaliate because, there's nothing that you can do in that moment. And he was trying to do it to Wemby, showing him, I'm strong, don't post me up, and he's leaning on him on an inbounds play. And Wembanyama looked down at him like, you serious? Handled him strength-wise, which tells you how strong this kid's gotten in 2 years. And then just absolutely obliterated him with his catch and dunk.
And then talked.
And then let him hit. Right. Didn't say a word until after the dunk. Then he let him have it. And it was there was nothing Draymond could do. It looked like a child. He looked so small in that moment. And it was one of those. I think you're absolutely right, Peter. It is one of those moments that will be on repeat in every highlight video of Wembanyama for the rest of his career.
And the basket didn't even count. It doesn't matter.
So what was worse for Draymond this weekend?
No,
this interaction
I bet the second one may have happened because of the first one.
Okay.
The first one was so bad, and my cousin Ben, who's a great basketball player, knows a lot about basketball, was like, watch, Draymond will end up retiring at the end of this year. Kind of half joking, but then he's like, but watch, there will be a bunch of other people in that category of aging defensive type players who deal with Wemby and are like, you know what? I think I'm good.
I'm all set.
I'm all set. I'm 6'7" at best. I'm done. I'm not playing this game with Wemby.
Well, look, Marty Bieron was no Draymond Green in his time, but he had a good career as a goalie. Start of a season with the Rangers, Tomas Hertl, a young kid, scored a hat trick on him. A couple weeks ago, he goes, you know what? I think I'm all set.
I seen it up there.
I think this is it. I think I'm all set.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. It was interesting.
It does happen.
Now, Peter, we do the CNN, and I sometimes give titles to the stories.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick one here. You mentioned the MLB hot stove.
Oh,
I wouldn't say if
scorching.
I think they may have just taken a coal and kind of lit a lighter on it. But the Yankees did sign Ryan Yarbrough to help their pitching depth for $2.5 million for a year. The Yankees do have some injuries, and he was a serviceable pitcher for them.
Serviceable
in spot starts, and they're going to need a lot. They're going to need some of those to start the year, Allen, with all the injuries they have to Rodon and Cole and Schmidt.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the one that I think Peter would like the most.
Go ahead, because you got limited time. I'll tell you
More yo-yo Jake Paul boxing is what I titled it.
Oh.
Yes, YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul will face former two-time unified heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua in a professional heavyweight boxing match on December 19th in Miami. MVP, Most Valuable Promotions, told ESPN on Monday. The fight will be streamed on Netflix. 8 3-minute rounds, and the fighters will wear 10-ounce gloves, the standard for heavyweight fights.
Money grab.
I will say this, though. we're going to find out one of two things. Either the whole thing is like rigged and like nothing happens and Jake just doesn't really, they kind of pat each other and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or Joshua actually kills Jake Paul like he should. I mean, listen, Joshua is a flawed fighter.
Yes.
And he has a chin that is suspect.
We had him on the show. We had him in the studio.
He was great.
Yes, we did.
He was fantastic.
That's what you worry about with him is what. See, I'm looking at it the other way. I'm looking at it at, like, this is a risk for him. I don't think he wins. There's no win for him. Here.
Oh, no. You mean because if Joshua knocks him out, what are you getting? Everyone goes, you're supposed to. It's Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And if he gets clocked and goes down.
And we know he doesn't have a base. His legs are not strong. And then if he gets clocked in the chin, which we know, that's there's literally no getting up from that.
But that's what makes it compelling.
Sounds like you guys are tuning in.
Yeah.
It does.
I'll tell you this. It's much more compelling than Gervonta Davis. Who would have just Jake just has no business being in the ring with him. Jake's 40 pounds heavier. Gervonta is so good, it's so much better. This to me could have a compelling end, maybe.
Alan, we really got no time. I gave you absolutely no time. You have another thing to do, and it's for this. But Knicks-Heat, no Anunoby, no Brunson.
That's not what you want.
Knicks managed to survive it on Friday. How do you view this game going for them tonight?
Oh, no, it could be another high-scoring, crazy affair going up and down, but I think you're going to see Miami play a lot more physical.
Oh,
I would keep an eye on things. These home-and-home series can get a little dicey, especially when one team was embarrassed, like as far as like rebounding and all that stuff, and they're coached all weekend. Spo has been talking about physicality, rebounding, all that stuff. This could be a very interesting game. They played each other 3 times in the last 11 games.
Well, top of the hour, we will have coverage on ESPN New York. On the radio side, Alan's going to go do MSG duties. That's going to do it for ENN, fellas.
Peace out, boys.
That's it.
Beautifully done, Anthony Pusick. And with that, I open the phone lines to the last caller crew right now. And what that means is you call us 1-800-919-3776 on any subjects we touch today or anything at all, period, from any walk of life. Now, I would love if wrestling fans called today and we basically turn this half hour into cheap heat because we have I got no Don. I got no Alan. We're a half hour away from John Cena's last show at MSG. I don't care if the bosses yell at me. I'm down to talk wrestling right now on ESPN New York. So that's on the table or any other subject you're interested in, 1-800-919-3776. We'll talk to you next right here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
This is the Michael K. Show.
Great teams employ players that look out for other players. Why would this guy with a half sack being taken at the top of the first round think it's okay to be late to meetings? That some veteran guy on the defensive side doesn't take Abdul Carter aside and say, dude, well, what are you doing? But that's hard to do on a team that just lost its coach, that's 2-9, that has lost heartbreaking games.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about, and to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp's encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. Short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and our 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recommendations. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
This whole idea that Joe Shane is just safe and you have nothing to worry about is apparently not true. He's going to do the due diligence. All right, here's a folder on him and a folder on him and a folder on him. They will determine who they want based off of his information. He is hardly safe. Not that he won't be back, but it's not a slam dunk that he will be back.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. This is a test of the emergency alert system.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Build monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Paying extra for tire care is BS. You know, bad service. So at Midas, we're rolling out our BS-free tire guarantee, included with paid installation and tax on every purchase. You'll pay nothing for flat replacements, nada for flat repairs, and zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles. That's $0 for all that. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the BS-free tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Oh yeah, I like this one. This is emo Cena raps. Just give him a second of it. Look at John Cena. I'm telling you, this album's not bad. Shocked me.
What are the songs on the album you like the most?
I like this one. I like Bad Man, of course. And I you know what I liked today when I went through it? I enjoyed. Hold on.
Right Now?
Wasn't that right now? No. Hold on. I liked Flow Easy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right Now. That was Right Now, wasn't it? Yeah, that was Right Now. I liked Flow Easy. I like Right Now. I like Keep Frontin'. All the ones with Bumpy Knucks are good. I love Bumpy Knucks. It's not bad. Knowing me, I'll see him tonight backstage and try to make awkward conversation about the album. He won't be interested. And that'll be it. Tell you one thing, though. I'm definitely asking for a photo at that December 13th. You know, I almost never, I don't ask anyone to take photos after working there for this long, which stinks because there's some great moments that you miss out on. But I think I have to imagine on that one, everyone's asking for photos.
Oh, yeah, he's the guy. You have to.
Don't you think all the other wrestlers will also be saying, could I get a photo with you today?
Yeah, whether it's a group photo or just people lining up.
What they need to do, I was going to, you know what? Get that in here. Let me just get ahead of it real quick. I'm going to hit up my man Brad, who's the head of photo for WWE, and be like, yo, on the last day, you guys should just keep a photographer on him. So when people see him and talk to him, they can all get photos just done. And your last moment talking to him is just that's how the president, I can't speak for the current administration, but generally speaking in the past, the president of the United States always has a photographer. So if you get a moment with the president, you will get your photos sent to you later. And I remember when I was a kid, my dad took me and my mom to the White House, and I met the president briefly. And you end up getting a photo sent to you in the mail. It's just done. They have photographers there. Oh, who was that? Blah, 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 blah. Because they know everyone who's in the White House. So that's how they should handle John's last day. It's just a photographer, photos. Oh, you took a photo with him. Boom, you get it.
Now, do you think they've been treating this like a almost Michael Jordan Last Dance? Like behind-the-scenes cameras and him doing the whole doc
It's
style?
WWE. Come on. What do you think? Of course.
No, of course.
Of course. There has to be some sort of thing coming at some point. Let's go to Jonathan in L.A. Hi, guys.
Hi, Peter.
What's up, John?
Peter,
So, man, shout out to Cena, man. I'm like getting flashbacks when I was a kid, a doctor of thugonomics and all that, him coming out versus Angle. I was actually pretty lucky, man. I won tickets, Power 106 at the time, for WrestleMania 21 tickets. Big Boy actually handed me those tickets.
Big Boy.
And Big Boy, yeah. And John Cena was there, too. He won the title there.
Damn right he did.
Great memories, man.
That's a historic. That's a historic moment when he beats JBL, wins the title, jumps in the crowd.
And it was a great WrestleMania too. Guerrero was there. I actually still have the chair too, and I'm gonna give it to my son eventually in his room, man. It's pretty good memories, man. And now we're gonna watch it right now in about an hour or so. Peter, I want to ask you, man, what's your favorite memory? Right now we're stuck in traffic. I was showing my son when he came out in Madison Square Garden in 2008, Royal Rumble. What's your favorite Cena memory?
I was there for that. I was there for that. Obviously, the Cena return. Thanks, Jonathan. The Cena return at the Garden. I was there for that. I always thought that moment got a little overhyped because I expected him to come back. So I knew he was going to come back at 30. So I just didn't. It didn't hit for me the way it did for some other people. I was already pretty old, guys. I was like 30.
No, yeah. Honestly, I still get goosebumps to that moment.
Because you were a kid, oh my God, he's back.
John Cena at the Royal Rumble. Come on, man.
No, it's crazy.
I watch the video now and I look back. I'm like, damn. Cena had so much aura at that point, and he was getting to that point where people were hating him.
Oh no, he was already past that. He was already there. Yeah.
But I think that time he took off, and then it
made people miss him.
Yeah, exactly.
Although if you listen, they all cheer at first, and then they remember to boo. It's funny. They naturally cheer, and they're like, boo. It's going to be fun tonight just to be at the Garden, have everyone cheering instead of half boos like they did for so long. I think that'll be really, really cool. Let's go to Jimmy in Montclair. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, what's up, Peter? How's everything?
Chilling, man. How are you?
Good, driving home. Hey, man, I actually really wanted to go to Raw tonight, but those ticket prices were expensive. But to me, I was at SummerSlam for that match versus Cody, and I think for me that was the best way for me to see him the last time. But, man, he is definitely the GOAT. Like the last caller mentioned, the Rumble, I was there with my dad. Man, it's crazy how time flies. And Cena, we were all those Cena sucks fans, but man, you gotta respect that dude, and
I know
you gotta love him.
I know, it's crazy how things change, right, Jimmy? At one point in your life, you're a Cena sucks guy, and then you look up and you're like, oh man, but he was such a part of my whole being into this whole thing. For me, really, I mean, that's the origin. I have a multifaceted story in terms of my return and how I got back into wrestling. It was a series of a few things, but the kind of deal sealer was John Cena's music played. And I'm like, wait, who is this guy who's got the MOP? I was like, who is that guy? And then I was like, oh, they got a rap dude now. And then when I started watching, it's not like Cena became instantly my favorite guy, but the show was based around him, and he was really good. And it was enough for him to be like, I'm interested. I want to see what's up with this guy. So it's crazy that we're down to 3 shows, and I'll be at all of them. I'll be at tonight at the Garden. I'll be Survivor Series. We're doing a countdown show for that, and we're doing the same for Saturday night's main event in D.C. in a month. 1-800-919-3776. We'll talk about all of these things. Continue. Feel free to call on Cena's last day. But I'd be remiss. This is a shock to the system. Danny from Long Island is back on the show. Danny?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So first of all, I have to apologize to you for my second phone call. If you remember correctly, on my initial call to you and Hahn, it was lighthearted. It was funny. I have the tape I'm looking at right now. Everybody was laughing. I wasn't disrespecting Miss Hatton. It was a funny comment that you were wearing a dog outfit in front of all the fine. And it went over fine. So the next day when I was getting ready to talk about football, whenever it was, and I started to mention it, it didn't come out right. And they jumped me immediately, as they should, as your teammates, if they thought I was going into a negative place instead of trying to be lighthearted. It never got back on track after that. And that was the end of it. So I was not aware that it had grown like a fungus where it was being discussed across numerous different shows.
Oh, yeah. It grew legs. Grew legs. It became a big thing. The people called up. People were upset. No, the listeners were more upset than I was, Danny. You're forgiven. I apologize.
Listen, I listen, I was working last Thursday night, and I heard all of a sudden you were talking about it, and you were very kind with your words, and I said, okay, that's fine, but I'm going to go underground now, because once you have Lonnie from the company and Danny from Centeridge out to get you, you really have to go into the Witness Protection Agency, because that scares me to the quick.
I know.
I mean, I know I once fought with a man for 2 minutes over a revolver in the middle of Times Square and put him into a coma. But Danny from Centeridge, which is surgically repaired shoulder blade, I'm very scared.
I
So I'm not going to call anymore. I'm going deep undercover with Ray Liotta eating noodles and sauce in the middle of Minnesota.
I figured the reason we didn't hear from you was because you went deep underground. It had to be.
Lonnie, I don't want the company to come start picketing my house. That could be. I couldn't handle that. But anyway, good.
Well, thank
great
you
show.
for calling. Appreciate you, buddy. It happens. It happens. You end up in a moment, and then you start trying to the bit doesn't go over well at first, and then you start trying to be too cool to make the bit get over more, and then you end up just on the wrong side of it. It happens. I've been there. I'm not going to hold a grudge. The putting someone in a coma part was a little bit scary. Anyone notice that part slip right under the radar there? It's a crazy part. You hear that, Ray? It's a crazy part of the story. Well, when Danny was just explaining how he's not scared of Danny from Centerport or Lonnie. He's like, yeah, I did once fight with someone over a revolver in Times Square and put him in a coma, and just kept going. Yo, my man, Danny, chill, bro.
You buried the lead, my man. God. What is happening over there?
Well, listen, he was in these, Danny was an officer in the streets. I guess things went left. Someone had a gun. He did what he had to do. My Lord, though. Very intense.
These are real stories.
These are real. I didn't know we were going to get the street stories here. 1-800-919-3776. We got a Knicks call. Oh, that's Rich. Should we do one, Richard? Hi, Richard.
Peter, yesterday, the Giant coach, he's refreshing. He went for it 4 times on fourth down. And then after the game, I don't know if he was asked, but it's in the paper, he said if the Giants scored on that last drive, he wouldn't have gone for the tie. He would have went for the 2. Now, I've never heard that ever from a coach, especially after a loss. He's volunteering information, that probably wasn't even asked. And he certainly didn't, you can't expect him to answer it. I find the guy really refreshing, confident, the way he talks.
I agree.
I think, yeah, he sounds like a confident guy that's not afraid of what he does, really. And he doesn't defend himself. He says, this is it. I think he's great. Peter, do you see what Sidney Crosby's doing? He's got 12 goals in 19 games. This guy's getting better with age. He still looks like a kid. He's still called a kid. But, man, this guy, he's going to rival Brady and maybe LeBron James as far as...
Well, you and I have talked about this before. The one thing with Sid, who's my second favorite all-time hockey player, the one thing with Sid is always going to be health. If he's able to stay on the ice and stay healthy, it looks like he's going to have an incredible MVP kind of season.
Peter, I'm going to give you a New York story I think you're really going to love.
Okay.
The guy from the Green Bay Packers, the defensive coordinator, Jeff Heffley, his grandfather delivered me at Wadsworth Hospital up in Washington Heights in 1955.
Wow.
Delivered my brother in 53. His mother, Heffley's mother, and her sister, twins, they were the flower girls at my parents' wedding in 1952. They're the only 2 people alive from my parents' wedding in 1952. I've never met the mother. They moved out of Washington Heights probably in the 70s or 80s.
This is wait, whose parents now?
Heffley. Heffley is the defensive coordinator. He was talked about all week. He was coming in with Green Bay. He came in with Green Bay, and they talked about him. He's got Jersey roots. His mom is still alive. She must be only 83, 84, because she was about 10, 11 years old in 52 at my parents' wedding.
Wow.
And Yeah. I've never met the mother. The grandfather delivered me. The grandfather delivered my brother. and he was a big member of our church up there. I'm up there every Sunday in Washington Heights up on 187. And
Armenian is it an Armenian church?
Armenian church, yes. Gular Skulation was the name of the right across the street from Yeshiva University, actually.
Beautiful.
Peter. Yeah, big area up in Washington Heights, and the building that I was born in is still there. It's a women's health clinic there, right between Wadsworth Avenue on 100 and St. Nicholas on 185th. So that's a great story. Anyway, Peter, nice talking to you.
Always, buddy. Always. Wow. I did not know that we would get into Richard's birth story today. But I will tell you, that was actually somewhat interesting. 1-800-919-3776. Any of the topics today that we got to, including what do you think we're going to get from John Cena tonight? Madison Square Garden, just over an hour from now. Cena's third to last ever appearance in WWE will be at the world's most famous arena. I will be heading over there shortly. Love your thoughts. We're here, Last Call Crew on DHR.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York. This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
If it was actually a possibility of taking the job, that Mike Tomlin is going to be sitting here and be okay with Joe Shane being the GM. Mike Tomlin will always get the most out of his roster every single damn year.
I just can't see Mike Tomlin coming over here saying, I'm going to listen to Joe Shane.
No! So why would you make any coach come over here and do that?
Bart Scott, Kris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-471-9773. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider provider at 800-471-9773. 800-471-9773. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-471-9773 or biglou.com. That's 800-471-9773 or biglou.com.
Another Cena banger? Oh, here we go. Let's see what this one. Telling you, this album is much better than it has any business being. I mean, listen, it's simple. I'm telling you, the John Cena album is not bad. It's very straight ahead. But like the beats are pretty cool. He's a fun listen. He's not bad.
Listen, I'm telling you, young Jacob at 13.
You were in.
With the Larry Bird jersey. I was all the way in.
You were in.
Bumping this the cover to cover. Probably making my mother sick of it. But yeah.
Jacob and Anthony copped the CD.
Did I hear Larry Bird jersey?
That's, yeah.
What is going? What is
fraud.
happening?
No, fraud.
What is going on?
And in a world of throwbacks.
Wearing a Bulls hat, I'm sure.
Oh no, but it was the throwback time.
Yeah,
and Cena was wearing the throwbacks every time.
I had my Isaiah Thomas throwback. I had my Karl Malone throwback. Come on, it was.
Yeah, you had all the throwbacks. I got it because Cena was wearing a different throwback every night.
And at that point, the only Nick throwback that I probably was acceptable at the time was probably a Sprewell or a Houston. I mean, outside of Ewan too, but like.
Yo, you think it's crazy that yesterday I was at Lids on 42nd Street for the WWE John Geiger collab release, and I was in the back, and they had like a bunch of jerseys sitting there. Really?
Yeah, for John Geiger.
For being in the back of the Lids. I mean, that's a crazy name drop. But someone made a joke because he was like, yo, they're selling Marcus Camby jerseys? They had a Camby Knicks jersey for sale. Or at least in the back.
Listen, Camby was that guy for the Knicks.
Listen, we love Marcus Camby. But I wouldn't necessarily think it's still at a Lids right now for sale. 1-800-919-3776. Last call crew. Whatever you want to talk about. I got lines open. Let's talk to Brian in Brooklyn. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Peter, what's going on? Just calling on the road. I'm on my way to MSG right now to watch Brawl tonight. I'm extremely excited. Just wanted to get your opinion on tonight's show and just see who do you think. Cena says that he's going to have the best night of his life tonight, his best match tonight. So I'm wondering who you think he's going to be facing tonight.
Ooh.
And also, who do you think the mystery wrestler is going to be in the tournament tonight?
Well, see,
I'm pretty excited about it.
So someone, Brian, had an interesting thought the other day. Mm-hmm. If they decided to bring Zack Ryder back, Long Island IZ to you and me, if they brought him back in Albany, doesn't that mean that they had someone bigger that they were bringing back tonight? Because if they didn't, why wouldn't you bring Zack Ryder back to MSG? This and UBS are the places he'll get the biggest reaction in the country. And they brought Zack Ryder back in Albany, which to me says they got something bigger tonight, and so they don't even want to mix it up. Let's just run Zack Ryder out on Friday because Monday we have, could it be Jericho?
I was thinking that too. I'm excited, hoping it's that. I've also probably on the safe side, maybe Joe Hendry.
That wouldn't be enough though. That wouldn't be like, I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool if Joe Hendry comes out, sure, but like no one's gonna be shocked if Joe Hendry comes. Yeah, like people are gonna pop like, yeah, it's Joe Hendry, cool. But at this point, he already popped out at WrestleMania with Randy Orton, so it's hard for me to think of, Brian, who it could be besides Jericho. But then, even if it's Jericho, John said he's going to have the best match of his career tonight. So who's his match against? Who could John have a match with that would be like awesome? Maybe tonight's the night they do something that a lot of people have wanted to happen. Actually, no, it can't happen. Forget it. Because Carmelo's in the tournament, right?
Yes.
So who could he have a match with then who's not in the tournament That's the question. And he's had a lot of the matches already with the main people you can think of. I don't think he'd say that him. You think he'd say that him and Jericho are going to have?
I don't think so, and I also haven't seen enough for them to have a real rivalry for people to want to tune in for. Like immediately, the names that ring in my head are like Randy Orton, maybe an Edge, but I know he's an AEW guy, and I don't know like what.
It sounds like that is not in the stars.
I wish.
I know. On this day, I see clearly. Actually, I think you know what. I actually think I have a drop here of me singing that like a lunatic. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that. Although it's something I've suggested before, and it'll be very, very cool. I don't think we're getting it tonight. So I love that. I go into this show and I have no idea what the moment is going to be.
We could be in the middle of Miz country.
Don't think it'll be Miz. I don't think that's enough. I don't know who it's going to be.
We're not gutless. We're incompetent. Is that right?
What the hell? Oh, that's from the movie The Rock. Why do I have a quote from the movie The Rock on my page and it's not The Rock? It's just some random quote from The Rock.
Excellent question.
I got to tell you guys, the YouTube chat was on fire after Danny's call. It did not go over well in the chat. And now Lonnie's in there. And everyone's backing up Lonnie. Lonnie said in the chat, Danny's such a bum. Why didn't he call in the Monday after to say sorry? He waited a whole week to come out of hiding. Dude is a bum.
I mean, he had more colorful language for me, but, we're going to keep it like that.
He said more colorful things to you?
Oh, yeah. He was not happy that we, one, let Danny on, and two, that you accepted his apology.
Well, listen, I'm just not at a stage of my life where I'm going to hold a grudge against someone who did something, even if what they did was, kind of weaselly. But it happens. People make mistakes. You're in a moment. The call's not going great. You want to make something happen, and then you end up saying something you'd regret. David DeConnick is in the chat saying the apology was BS. It was more like him saying it was a misunderstanding. Bleep that. Oh, man. Hey, guys, real quick, let's take a break from the Raw for a moment and say game time. Brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time...
It's Tully time!
It's Tully time! The Knicks are in Miami facing the Heat with coverage immediately following us here on 880 at 87. I see the great Ray Santiago's in the building, ready to go with that. Of course, you can check out Alan's coverage on MSG. And, of course, hey, I'm going to throw it into game time. John Cena's last ever Raw at Madison Square Garden, getting underway in about an hour. You can watch that on Netflix, of course. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. But yeah, tonight's going to be a moment. Do you have plans tonight, Jacob?
Nothing more than the Knicks and Little John Cena. That's
Little John Cena. You're not like watching the whole show. You're going to watch the segment and call it a day.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna tune in to watch John Cena do his thing, see whose opponent is. That's it.
Anthony, are we going to get you? I know you're not a regular on Raw these days. You're more like aware of what's going on than you are watching.
I'll probably see the clips. I'm behind on it. I got to watch last night's episode.
That's just one episode.
It's an hour.
But this is history tonight.
With an exclamation point. No, that was a different thing.
I'm very charged up. Very, very charged up.
You should be. This is exciting.
This is a big deal.
Tomorrow's a big deal, too. Let's not underscore how important tomorrow is.
You know what? It's a great point.
David Rosenberg.
Tomorrow, they're taping NXT.
That's right.
At Madison Square Garden Theater. They're doing 2 episodes of NXT tomorrow. And we have 2 title matches from Evolve they're actually being taped tomorrow. They're airing the following week. Kendall Gray is defending the women's title. Jackson Drake is defending the Evolve Championship against Sean Legacy. And your man, yours truly, a.k.a.
David Rosenberg,
will be in the booth with Vic Joseph and Booker T for the call of those Evolve matches, which I'm very excited about. It's a big deal for me. I always appreciate when I try to tell Alan and Don about something like that. They always do their best being excited for me, but I know they just can't fully understand what each thing is. It's even though it is like sports, it's too much of its own world for someone to fully grasp it. But they always do a solid job trying to care. But it's a different thing. You know what I mean? All right, that is going to do it. We will come back tomorrow at 3 p.m., all three of us together for another big episode. We'll see if the Knicks can survive the Heat down OG and Brunson. And we'll do that tomorrow. 3.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for 3.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big